Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Wait, the family? No, just get a message in it. Yes, I'm just going. Alright, wait there. Alright, before, you know what I mean? Then call it now. Alright, we just gotta start it, and you know, say, a purify fire, a burn, you know what I mean? So anything will come out of the mouth, you have to be purified in it. I got some things today, you know what I mean? When I say I got some things, I got some dangerous things today, you know what I mean? I just say deported, not you. Alright, so before, we're gonna share the link and everything like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, so sharing the link, you know, more family can come into it, you know? Yeah, and after we can just start up the thing. You see? Alright, hold on the family.
Every day we wake up and pray for a better day, a better way. Every day.
One world, support the movement.
England, one world, support the movement.
England, yeah? One world, support the team.
England, Trinidad, one world, support the team.
UK, Jamaica, one world, support the team. One world.
The UK, Ghana, one world, support the movement. Big stuff happening.
England and Montserrat, one world, support the movement.
England, Morocco, one world, support the movement, man.
Jamaica, one world, keep the movement. Jamaica, one world, keep the movement. Jamaica, one
Alright, one world we say Jamaica, support the team. Don't leave the team, big up the team.
Jamaica supports one world.
One world, Jamaica.
Jamaica, one world, support it.
One world, support the movement.
Ireland, one world, support the movement.
Ireland, one world, support.
St. Lucia, Martinique, one world me say, you know, support the thing. St. Lucie, Martinique, supportez bagay la. Yon latte, un seul latte. D'accord? Yes, I please force.
Moldova, one world, support the movement.
Moldova, one world, support the movement. Yeah.
Romania, one world, support the team.
Italy, one world, support the movement.
I'm from Cape Verde. I just want to say one world, support the thing, one world.
Family circle. Hallelujah. And you know, remember we are all our brother keeper, our sister keeper. So, you know, knowledge is a wonderful thing, but knowing the earth, it's beautiful. Unity, inbox me.
Kurdistan, one world, support the movement.
Afghanistan, jak studio, musisz kurde tarkowy pomadku nim. Bakhair washe, assalamu alaikum.
Lithuania, one world, support the woman.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe, Lizo, support, one world.
Bridgeport, Connecticut, Jamaica represent one world, support the movement, peace, love, unity. Yeah, Terry said that. Bless up.
Eritrea, one world, support the movement.
Ethiopia, one world, support the movement.
Movement, salam salam.
Yeah, salam.
Brazil and Jamaica, one world, support the team, yeah? Brasil e Jamaica, é nóis.
Support one world, Polska, Poland. Zmieniamy świat na lepsze.
Croatia, one world, support movement.
Yeah, man, one world, support the team. The unity we say, straight.
Albania, one world, support the thing. Shqipëria Madhe, një bashkim në botë, together.
Me in Nigeria. Hello? From Benin City, the heartbeat of Nigeria. One world, supported.
What talk me is what we say, Dharma. What we say?
Merhaba, UK, Turkish, one world, support the team.
Algeria, English, and support the movement.
UK, Egypt, support the movement. Assalamu alaikum from Egypt.
One world, support the movement.
Yes, family, so upright and upright, you know what I mean? Make I have a show off, purify fire, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, so I love seeing me, you know what I mean, family? And remember, say, we are in the world, not for the government reason or the government purpose, you know what I mean? We are in the in the earth for a purpose, but not for the government, not to build up a corporation, you know what I mean? Because we're building up a corporation, yeah? And the corporation is against us, you know what I mean? Alright, wait, let me make you know like your journey and your speciality with this video, yeah? Wait, give me a second.
They know about us what we don't know about us. And when you don't know who you are, you become a weapon against yourself. That's why it's so important to know, to be able to authentically identify with who you are, because when you don't know who you are, you become a weapon against yourself, because there are other powers and other entities that know exactly who you are and what you are capable of. And so they'll use your energy source. You are walking, talking, breathing pure fucking magic. You are.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine as children do. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Yes, family, because life is a thing like this, yeah. It's like, you see, when someone set you against someone, even the good you can be against. You know what I mean, family? And like with me, I'm not doing nothing bad out there, family. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, family, listen. Before your bread finish or before you are on your sick bed, help each other. I got some videos talking about deportees. You know what I mean, family? Deportees is like someone is deporting you from somewhere in the world. You know what I mean? And remember, family, it's like if we if we grow up in a place or if we are in a community, no one's supposed to deport us. But you see, when your lack of knowledge is like one will um deport you and all of these things. You know what I mean, family? But we are our brother keeper and our sister keeper. You know what I mean, family? Yeah. And being our brother keeper and our sister keeper, we have to there for each other. You know what I mean? And like what I say, a purified fire is burning, you know what I mean? Fire of the sun, you know what I mean? No wood fire, you know what I mean? Yeah, cause wood fire is just like destruction fire, you know what I mean? So it's a purified fire we're burning here, you know what I mean, family? So hear me. Remember to inbox me and get my number, and I'm gonna play the first video. I'm playing the first video now. It's like we're gonna start it like this. Alright, this one now is like this is must say this is a African deportee video. You know what I mean, family? Whether you're African, whether you're Asian, whether you're from US, Canada or wherever in the world. You know what I mean, family? We go for all, you know what I mean? One for all for one. You get what I'm saying, family? I'm not gonna wait till I'm in the toilet and about to get flush, it's like I'm saying what I should be saying. You know what I mean? No, I'm saying it from birth, innit? Yeah, I'm saying it from birth. My mom teach me about it. My dad teach me about it. My community teach me about it. So why should I forget about it? You know what I mean? I'm not this like people who worship God and next after I'm going to do the opposite of good. Because when someone say they worship God, that means that they are good, 100% good, innit? Not really say, oh, I have to be religion to be 100% good, innit? No, you don't have to be like, oh, going to a church to say, oh, you know what, I'm giving thanks to God or whatever. You know what I mean, family? So you know what I'm saying, family? We all our brother keeper, we all our sister keeper. You understand, family? Yeah, man, for real, man. So like what I'm saying, we just what then call it, we just work together, family. You know what I mean? We come into the world and see the world in destruction and corruption. We not have to take a part of it, innit? Because destruction is just like um separating, destroying you, giving you the wrong education, giving you the wrong knowledge and all of these things. Hey, I got some video today, you see? I got some mad video today, family. So, like what I say about deportees, this first one I'm going to play, it's about Africans, you know what I mean, getting deported and thing, yeah? Alright, family. So, stay upright, you know what I mean? Stand up for the justice, you know what I mean? When I say justice, just stay up for good, innit? When I've said justice, just stand up for good, innit? Yeah, just good, you know what I mean? If you know a police who is doing good, you stand up for him same way, innit? If you know a soldier who's standing up for good, you stand up for him same way, you know what I mean? I'm not here just talking, family. So upright and upright. Alright. Start it like this.
Scenes of Nigerians deported from various parts of the world for falsified immigration documents to other sundry offenses. The countries where these crimes are alleged to have been committed appear to have had enough, and have since the turn of the year embarked on a deportation program. Libya is a country that has perhaps the largest number of Nigerian deportees, with close to 1,000. This latest batch of 253 were returned home on the 25th of April. The risk undertaken by these returnees to a country like Libya is not only tedious, but extremely dangerous, with some dying from illness, or in other cases, killed. This lady shares her experience.
We are just going there to suffer. There's no enjoyment there. I'm the one that is take myself to the station. All those police, they just help me, they keep me there like 2.5 months now. I don't call my family, I don't call I too suffer.
Also rising against Nigerians are xenophobic attacks in South Africa and India. Although there may not be anything authorities can do to help those deported for illegal offenses, it has made its displeasure over the xenophobic attacks known.
We are hopeful that our engagement with the South African Parliament and authorities will provide lasting solutions. The end product and what we hope to achieve with that is that it will offer some kind of deterrence.
I don't see us doing anything tangible by way of arresting these attacks without this government standing up and having some kind of diplomatic reprisal.
Perhaps this advice from a former president, if heeded, may just be one of the solutions needed to reducing the number of Nigerians making their way out by any means necessary.
To prepare our country so that those of our youth that think that there's an El Dorado somewhere outside their own country will be made to know that there's no green pasture anywhere.
Through all what appears to be an embarrassing situation is a subtle message that needs to be seriously considered. And that is the need to take all this in good faith, look inwards to develop the nation, and ensure the need to travel for greener pastures becomes unfashionable. After all, If Nigeria is to claim the rights of being the giant of Africa, this might just be the time to show it. Orolu Ashunibare, Channels Television News.
Yes, family. So, like what I'm saying now, you see how the Nigerians are getting deported, but really and truly, we all, whether European, whether Asian, whether African, yeah, we all build up the world together, innit? And I don't know, like, if you want someone to go home from your country, at least help their country too, you know what I mean? We have to help each other. You understand, family? Not let's like get someone and say, oh, you do a crime, oh, we don't want you in your country, or we don't need you in this part of town. You know what I mean? Not saying, oh, yeah, they can't do that or not like that. You know what I mean, family? But set the world straight. Set each country straight. So you know if you leave out everywhere. We have all equipment today. Yeah. For make the world straight. You understand, family? Why is like we have everything in the world to set it straight and we still not setting it straight? We have to stand up, family. You know what I mean? We're not a fool or a clown. I'm not using no intelligence or nothing like that. You understand me? Yeah. I know say the school system or the education system is just teach us to achieve money or achieve a house or achieve wealth or whatever. When we're not here forever. So what kind of wealth we can really get? You know what I mean, family? What kind of wealth do we can get in this world when we are not in it forever? I know say they teach us about all of these what they call it now, all of these big life, luxury life and all of these things. You know what I mean? Yeah, with the Jamaican them proper know to make silver look like gold, you know what I mean? Remember I'm a Jamaican too, you know what I mean? So put me in the bottom and let's spit. It's like I know how to make the hell look pretty same way, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you see, like how I'm like how I stay now. It's like you find a lot of Jamaican out there like that same way. But a lot of people out there, whether European or whatever, we can't wait until we are in our dying bed. You know what I mean? Or wait till we don't have a bread to eat. Because when I was growing up, I used to learn trade from a guy in Jamaica. And when I used to get paid, yeah, it's like I never worked the other rest of the days them until the money finish. Yeah, you understand me? And the guy say to me, the boss guy who I was working with, he tell me, yeah, him say, yo, Dan, or him say, yo, one word. Don't wait till the money finish. You're trying to go and work for more. You get what I'm saying, family? So if you know that you have money and you going to like stop work, it don't make sense you did work from the beginning. You know what I mean, family? So I'm not gonna start this thing and stop it. You know what I mean? I'm saying one world, one family, one circle. You see? Because family, I know says like we all have these things, short remembrance in the world and all of these things, and the water what we drink is polluted and tampered with. You know what I mean? Alright, let me play this one now. This one is about Jamaican get deported from Europe, Europe and Europe and America. You see, why them a deport the people them? You know what I mean? Why them deporting the people them? You know what I mean? We are citizens of the earth, innit? We are citizens of the damn earth. If you don't want someone in your country, well, send them out, but send them with something. You know what I mean? Not send them back with nothing in it. Alright, so this one now goes out to the Jamaican them will get deported, you know, from America. I played the first one I played was in Africa, innit? Yeah. Yeah, it was the African one. So this one is the Jamaican one now, you know?
And I say again, how many rivers do we have to cross before we can talk to the boss? I mean, you know, you just want betterness, you know what I mean?
My brothers, we need to help each other. We need to help those who've been deported from the UK and the USA with nothing but the clothes on their back. We all know of the crime levels in Jamaica, the robberies, the thefts, and the curfews that's been imposed because of the increase in violence. But what people don't know is that between the year 2000 and 2014, 145,000 men have been deported from the UK and the USA back to Jamaica with nothing but the clothes on their back, or at best, a suitcase.
I've got six kids. They keep asking me, Daddy, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And I just keep telling them Daddy's working away at the minute. I'm just lying to them at the minute because I'm in limbo. Don't want to tell them this and that happened. I don't want to tell them that and this happened. But my eldest is 10. So for me to tell her at the minute, like, she might never see me again, because that's, to go to Jamaica on a flight for all of us, we're talking over 6-7 grand. It might never happen. So for me to just disappear.
A suitcase full of clothes. The United Nations did the report, which said that on average, 100 men per week are being deported back to Jamaica with nothing. And this explains the increase in crime. Now, we need to help our brothers, because imagine if that happened to you. What I've been doing is I've gathered up all of the clothing which I have sitting down, which I no longer wear. I've bought airbeds, razors, sleeping bags, tents, shoes, trainers, sandals, shorts, t-shirts, jeans. And I've put them in a barrel to ship to the Open Arms Center in Kingston, Jamaica. They are helping the deportees. It's a charity out there. So what I'm asking is for the mans out there to do the same thing. Collect up your clothing that you do not wear, that which is sitting in your wardrobe or sitting in your dressing table, and bag them up. Ask your friends, family, relatives, associates, cousins for donations to help with the cost of shipping the barrel to Kingston. It costs £88 from Romark Shipping in Lewisham. Ask them to donate clothing and or funds to help the cause. And if you can get 9 people to donate £10, that covers the shipping costs. Take a picture of the clothing that you've gathered up and the clothing that you've put in the barrel, so that you can show other people exactly what it is you're doing. Because our brothers and our elders, the Windrush generation, need our help. There's an ancient saying which is, I was complaining I had no shoes till I saw a man with no feet, because it's about perspective. If I have 2 and a brother has none, where is my hardship if I give him 1? Our brothers have been deported to Jamaica, some with nothing. So let's support them in a way any one of we would want to be supported if it happened to you. You can also help by buying airbeds, tents, sleeping bags, blow-up beds from either the charity shops, the camping shops, or off eBay. But if you go to a charity shop and tell them what you're doing, and that you're doing charitable work to help others less fortunate, some charities will actually donate it to you, and others will give a discount. They are charities. They understand the concept of helping others. Another way to get support for the cause is to go into barbershops. Tell the mans then that you're collecting donations to buy essentials to support the mans who've been deported. Show them the pictures on your phone and ask for contributions. Mans will give. 60% of the mans I've asked has donated. Simply ask them for £1. They will give. The younger generation don't walk with money. They pay digitally. So set up a PayPal account for donations and give them the name of the account. They will donate. Everything I've said, I've done. Within 1 week, I had 3 barrels ready to be shipped to Jamaica. And it only takes one man in each borough to do what I'm doing, to take on the responsibility. And if there's more than one man, even better. You see, a barbershop can put a donation box in and collect donations and donate to either purchase airbed, sleeping bags and or clothing, or to help with the shipping costs. The West Indian takeaways can put a donation box in their shops for the same purpose. We need to come together as a community because no one is doing anything for we. So we have to do for self. 145,000 men have been deported from the UK and the USA between 2000 and 2014, and it's accelerated since then. Look at it this way. If you have men who have been deported with nothing and they are desperate, they will do desperate things. But if we support them and we provide them with something to sleep on, clothing on their backs, shoes on their feet, they are less desperate. They are less likely to do the desperate things, which makes life more dangerous for those living in Jamaica. And so by doing this work here to help those with less, we make Jamaica safer for our sisters who travel to Jamaica, for our elders who travel to Jamaica. We make it safer for them because they're at less risk of being a victim of a desperate man. So let's help our brothers. Anyone can do what I've done. We just need the conscious brothers to step up so that we can begin to work together to help our brothers. Arm in arm, my brothers, we'll overcome our little troubles.
Yes, family. So, like what I say now, it's like, yeah, it did a reload back, you know. I was reloading back the page, so it wasn't picking up properly, you know. Yeah, so now it reload now, and the thing is like, yeah, it's more better, you know what I mean? Yeah, so upright and upright, you know what I mean, family? So that is one same way, you know. And family, I got one with a young soldier was back in Jamaica. I was singing and all of these things, you know. And I give thanks for the trying, you know what I mean? And give thanks for the trying. We have to come together and work together, family. You know what I mean? That's why I come on this every day. You know what I mean? That's why I come on this thing every day, family. Not to be like being a YouTube puppet, you know what I mean? Not for family to be watching like, oh, we don't have no more use than to watch all of these things. You know what I mean, family? We can be watching all information because every day the earth itself give new knowledge or new message, you know what I mean? Yeah, and only thing we have to do is just work together. You see what they are doing to the Nigerian them, deporting them. Not saying, oh, if they do something bad or illegal, you know, to send them back to their country. But they we need help. You know what I mean? That's why we go to our next country. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't come to UK now for be coming on this thing like I'm a puppet. I'm not like smarter than you, family. Believe you me, I'm not smarter than you. I just get fed up of all of these things. I'm coming from the ghetto, you know what I mean? So when I see someone get deported, yeah, I feel that. You know what I mean? When someone is abusing someone, yeah, I feel those things. You know what I mean? And I know say you got a heart inside of you, family. And I know you got a soul inside of you. And you know how hungry feel. You know if you don't know when how hungry feel, you're not a human. Every one of us. know how hungry feel family. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like I'm not intelligent talking like this intelligent um speech and all of these things family. But if you're from the street family, you would know say yo, hear me. Right is right. And we're now gonna see someone in the street hungry. And like if you have a friend and that friend is in the street and you know like I know a friend used to sell bottle, yeah, to make money and all of these things. So when you know you're coming from that life family, we have to be there man. You know what I mean? Not you technology get advanced and everybody want flashy this, flashy that. Everybody want mobile phone. Everybody want these and these. Family, see with what I'm saying. You know what I mean? That's why I always put my number, see my number there, family. You see, what else I can do, family? You know what I mean? I come here, I'm not acting a fool still. But sometimes people will say, oh, he's crazy and all of these things. But that is what people gonna say when you're doing good family. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going out there influence the young kids them to do wrongs or act like a fool of themselves. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do things like those. You see? Yeah. Alright, so this one now, this video what I'm going to play, it was a young street youth, you know what I mean? I know guys like these, you know what I mean? When I say I know guys like these, family, we have to know, say we have to put out, we all to help each other and help ourselves too. Because if you help someone, you help yourself too in a family. You understand, family? Yeah, because when you help someone today, you're going to fall back on that pillow. You know what I mean? Alright, let me play this one, yeah?
Run back here, entry.
Never grew up with no father. I just my mother alone used to walk through the water. Man used to feel to the pain that man used to cry
Bala! Money pull up. It doesn't ball. It doesn't cry. It doesn't cry. It doesn't cry. He mean it to your heart. He man serious to your heart.
Watch you. Watch you. Come again, General.
It doesn't feel it to your heart. Now make that video go viral. What you do? Let go, John.
You never grew up with no father. I just my mother alone used to water. I water. Me used to feel the pain, you know that. Yeah. Sometimes I come to bed real hungry. Hungry, I feel love to see my hungry. Sometimes I body, I don't know.
Pull up. You feel it to your heart. You feel it to your heart. It doesn't feel it.
Yo, lunch money low tomorrow, daddy. Yo, lunch money low.
Yo, if you don't use my YouTube, back school tomorrow. Yeah, school money enough tomorrow. Make sure you know some money there. Everybody can do something. You can't do something, you know. Everybody can do something.
Come on, money now.
Do something.
We build champion, we don't kill champion.
I say if I ever until an artist and bad, I want to wait till you come on to see part of Flat Screen TV.
No, this will go viral. That one will go viral. It will go viral.
For you to want to take care of it, you hear that?
That one will go viral. No, wait.
What no one right now? Right now, no one in it.
Give me to it, pull up. Give him back here. Give him back here. Give him back here.
We don't steal your spotlight.
Give him back here, you John.
We don't steal your spotlight, you understand? Cause you make
It go viral.
That one must go viral.
You understand? So, me didn't say one for the one more say, but
Make him do it tune, man.
Oh my God.
Yo, my youth, they touch me.
One man a tune there. We want man a tune there. We want man a tune there.
In a real life.
Hold
on. You see, in a real life, about 5 times the movie line come check me right as I say one DJ. I swear, about 5 times, and it determine me and say, yo, I say, ask him, because you don't know my style, brother. Me I hear. I say, ask you. I'm here say Ray.
Give him a rhythm. Give him a rhythm.
Talent there, we don't hold long
that video you have to go viral. Give him a rhythm.
I could buy some this, I would have hold long talent, because look at what them are really, you know. And them are doing their plate, and them are going to travel, you know. Yo, that's it.
Give him a tune. And give me entry too. Entry song, talk your mind.
Yo, look at them. Last stick in the brother. Last stick from Kyle Jeller.
Yeah.
Never grew up with my father, just my mother alone used to walk to the water. Used to cry, I water. Sometimes feel it, cry and water dog. Sometimes man alone used to walk, man alone used to feel. Yeah, cry dog. To a while not drink, but to what them what to create them. Man cry dog. To a while not go cook. Sometimes in the sun, they be man no cook.
Yo, breathe and do his song properly. Yeah, just breathe and do his song properly. Just relax and do it.
Out there.
Just relax and do it.
Yes, family, so upright and upright, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, so like I say, family, we can't wait till, you know, we leave this world, or we go say, oh, yeah, someone should be helping these family what I'm playing and all of these things. It's happening all over the world, family. You know what I mean? It's happening all over the world. As I'm talking same way. You know what I mean? It's happening today while I'm talking, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, man. So we have to just wake up and shake up, you know? And sooner or later, I'm going to come off of this, you know what I mean? And come off of this, we're going to start to do this, like, from the street, you know what I mean? People in the street more dedicated more than the family them on the internet. Because most family in the family circle, it wasn't on the internet I get them, in it. It was like in the street, when you talk to one, you know what I mean? And talk to one is like we share our love together, you know what I mean? And next after now we share the point, it's like we come together, you know what I mean? Yeah, so they gonna come, I just gonna come off of this system thing, you know what I mean? Just come off of this system thing, you know? And help each other, you know? Yeah, man, for real, man. So family, believe you me, man. That area, this year, things are going to be happening, you know what I mean? And things going to be happening. I'm not going to rely on YouTube. I'm not going to rely on none of these family, you know what I mean? Yeah, cause YouTube now put no food in my pocket, innit? And I don't want them to put no food in my pocket, innit? Yeah, man, so, like I say, we have to just stand up for your right and pull together, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, government will never help us. Government will never help us, family. I swear government will never help us. They are brainwashing it. They are proper brainwash. Yeah, man, so no, family. We have to pull together, man. Somewhere, somehow, we have to pull together, family. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, and every minute this thing is just playing up like, oh, why is the thing playing up? You see? Yeah, his signal is up. Alright, so now we did talk about the poor life and all of them thing there. Wait, oh, I supposed to have a next video for play. I can look if I can find that video, you know what I mean? A good video, you know? It's like a video where someone was talking about a millionaire put up someone in a house, you know? Wait. Because I don't remember if I did save it or nothing like that, you know what I mean, family? But I know, so I did have it. Wait, that one. No. African. Alright, let me just play this one. I'm gonna play this one. This is like the coronavirus cure, innit? You know, listen what government say. If government say, you must, you run, run like a thief, family. If government ever tell you to walk, you run. And if they tell you to run, you walk. So I see them a talk about this is not the cure and all of these things. Family, just take as much as you can. You know what I mean? Alright, wait, I'm play it there.
Good people of Full-Time Africa. My name is Prince Nzewata, the coordinator of the Full-Time Africa. We have an urgent message that everyone must have to, you take it as an advice. The coronavirus that has befalled China has extended to over 19 countries. And the news we are having today is that it has entered Africa. And the only preventive measure for the coronavirus that has no cure is garlic. So, by tomorrow morning being Saturday, you may not be able to find garlic in any market. So my advice to all members of this group is to go out tomorrow morning and look for garlic. That is the only preventive measure. It has no cure. So the virus cannot walk, cannot live in the presence of. So all you need to do now in the morning, get to the market, get your garlic, store it in your house. How would you take it? You take it morning.
Virus can cure itself by a bowl of freshly boiled garlic water. Chinese doctor proved its effect. Many patients find it to be effective. Recipe: take 8 chopped garlic cloves, add 7 cups of water and bring to a boil. Eat and drink the boiled water from the garlic, improved and cured overnight. Please share with all your contacts, can help save lives.
Yes, family, thing I play up, you know what I mean? I feel, I see that the live is on, yet seeing that the video them is playing clear, you see? So, when you see it a move like this, it's like a whole heap, see there, I just turn on the live, and next the live come off, it's loading again, and all of these things, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, man, so. No, so it's like, it's a bit of bumpy road, you know? But we have to travel it. Yeah, man, but like I say, family, government doing all of these wicked things to us, you know what I mean? Yeah, them a do all of these wicked cruelty thing to us. Them a do it to the European, meaning the white family them, and them a do it to the Africans, and them a do it to the Asians, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, them a do it to the Chinese, cause Chinese government kill off Chinese over there now. You see? Now if East America go over there and do anything to them. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Chinese people have killed Chinese for a long time. You know what I mean, family? Well, they want to sync this video in the hold on there, what is the family? Alright, that is on. Now I just want to get this video what I'm talking about. And yeah, let me look if I can just set it quick, you know. Rich and poor. Yeah. I'm just gonna put it in now, you know. Yeah, so put it in. It's like I can play it after I put it in, you know. Yeah, give me 2 seconds, family. Desktop. Yeah, I don't play around on a fresh video I play. When I say fresh video, fresh. Alright, that one. Alright, and this one. Alright, this one. Bring that one. Alright, so I'm close to it, family. Right there. Family, remember now, if you fall on your face, you know, and you don't mind sharp, there's no one there to help you, you know. You see? So this video, what I'm going to play is about then call it family was homeless and all of them things, you know what I mean? Yeah. And they out there cussing people or racist and all of these things. There's many things to do without all of these things, you know what I mean, family? Yeah, man, millions of things to do more than watching say, oh, black and white is fighting and all of these things. See? Yeah. No, hear about no fighting. If you not help someone, just don't say nothing in it. Yeah. You see? If you're not helping someone, man, just don't say nothing. Yeah, so no. Wait there. I guess it's this video, you know? Wait the family. I guess it's this video. Alright, wait.
Scenes of Nigerians deported from various parts of the world for falsified immigration documents to other sundry offenses.
It's not this one. Alright, so we could just run the show, yeah? Alright, so upright and upright family. Yeah, man, I love, man. I'm take a next bath, you know what I mean? For the energy, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Charge, you charge, you know. Because remember the soul, you can't feel the soul, innit? Yo, family, upright and upright. We could drop it out. We could drop it out for the government. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we could put out the pot, yeah? Alright, hear me. Alright.
You in living color. Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Upon a time, there were 2 little girls who
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation. Every day, our senses are being constantly bombarded by subliminal messages that are found in TV, movies, and advertisements. The subliminal messages we are subjected to are unrecognizable by the conscious mind and only recognizable in our subconscious mind. The messages and imagery are passively absorbed and then stored in our subconscious, where propagandists deliberately implant artificial thoughts, which in turn can affect our actions and attitudes later in life. Experiments have shown that less than 1 minute after the viewer begins to watch television, the brain switches from beta-level consciousness, associated with active and logical thought, to alpha level, which is associated with passive acceptance and suggestibility. This is why advertisers spend billions of dollars a year on commercials, as well as product placement within TV shows. Political messages are implanted in fictional TV programs as meditative state of the viewer is receptive to the programming. One example is AMC's Breaking Bad television series, as it depicts a meth villain as a Ron Paul supporter.
I looked him up. It was one of these physicists, one of Hitler's guys, a physicist named Werner Heisenberg. Real cute, huh?
In a basic college level marketing class, in your first year of radio, television, and film, at least for me, and then I've seen some other textbooks and curriculum and found it's also in those, but most RTF schooling teaches you that they have had subliminals for at least 70 years in the United States and Europe. And so, yes, there is subliminal messaging everywhere. It is all over the place. It's an absolute fact that they flicker it at a rate, that they have the televisions designed for that rate to bring you into a dreamlike state. I mean, it is a fact that within minutes, you go into a dream brainwave when watching television. Go read a book by the father of modern advertising, Edward Bernays, where he calls you a dumb that admits they run your whole life. I've read both his major books. One of them's called Propaganda. Edward Bernays.
The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed. Our minds are molded, our tastes are formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we've never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized.
Now, I also mentioned, too, that a fellow that has been in touch with me for an awful long time, his brother was in the CIA, or is in the CIA. He will never talk about the CIA to him. He'll never give anything away whatsoever, except one bit of advice. He said, never watch the television. Never watch the television. It's the greatest scientific indoctrination tool ever devised. Haven't you figured that out? It's changed the whole culture of nations, not just one nation. I think it was mandatory that everybody in Britain give access to televisions by the government. Why do you think China is under the same program to get everyone with a TV right now? Because they love to have you entertained. Do you really think that? And India is on the same route as well right now too. Most of your ideas and your opinions and how you emulate, because you emulate things, you mimic what you see. As Charles Galton and others have said in the past. It becomes you, you become it. And that's what's happened. It's been very, very, very successful. Never watch the television. You can't watch a movie. Do it critically. If you watch it critically, not there to enjoy it. Remember what they say, it's your emotions that get you on. And it's interwoven, all these emotional themes all through movies. You're played like a harp. And they embed ideas into you, along with the movies. And predictive programming too. So you'll accept that which is still to come. And you'll behave the same way as the characters in the movie when it comes. Oh well, what can you do? I'll just watch much music or television. Yeah. You're given a mind of your own, and you've got to use it for yourself.
Mind control is one of the tools that they use. How they get you in the condition to be controlled is by using certain signs and symbols, frequencies, tones, colors, shapes, numbers that they hide subconsciously in the frequency of the music and in the 23rd frame, I believe, on TVs and the movies. Look at the movie-going experience. We go in and we buy butter, popcorn, and Coke. And you're buying this chemical called popcorn. Why do I call it a chemical? That butter is not really butter. But when you put it on the popcorn and you put it in the microwave, it becomes a chemical that lulls your subconscious mind to sleep, inducing you and lulling you to sleep. So by the time you walk into a dark movie theater, you're already prepped. You're laying there, you're damn near dozing off. You're focusing in on a screen in the dark with the surround sound, and they're attacking your subconscious mind with frequencies and images. Go to The Arrivals on YouTube. The Arrivals. A-R-R-I-V-A-L-S. The Arrivals. Go to number 10 and watch it through number 12. And you'll see exactly how they pull this off. When you leave the movie theater, you're almost punch drunk. You leave the movie theaters with your breast filled, wanting to be the hero, or wanting to be the damn damsel in distress, wanting to be the corny white girl that fall down at every damn horror flick. Are you following me? So we have to understand it. So now to the small screen, they keep the small screens filled with nonsense. Channel Zero, I wrote a song with Public Enemy. Channel Zero is what we call it, which actually amounts to absolutely nothing. I don't care if it's the daytime stories or these unreality shows or MTV Cribs, Pimp My Ride, or whatever. Absolutely nonsense.
If you watch cable, don't do it, because one of the implementations is the box that everybody has to get for your cable TV. And that is one of the ways that they have found out that certain sound waves can control you.
So there are sound waves. Oh, yeah. There are sound waves that come out of the cable box.
So that comes out of your TV.
That come out of your TV.
They can tweak it to where they can make you feel sad, they can make you feel glad. You know how people have those super harmonious CDs they pop in and say they feel good?
Yeah. Oh.
It's the exact same thing.
Exact same thing.
And it's very simple, it's very cheap, it works.
And you pay a monthly premium for it.
It's a very simple equation here. They control by controlling the information that people receive. If we are going to, and we are in the process of dismantling this, then alternative information that tells the truth about the movie and exposes it needs to get out there. Now, everyone has got a mouth. Everyone. And everyone's got a voice box, or virtually everyone. And therefore, we can articulate and pass this on. And so, it's ridiculous to say there's nothing we can do. We can get onto radio phone-ins on radio shows that don't talk about this and bring those issues into the debate. I think they've realized that there is a challenge coming here, and people are, in increasingly vast numbers, are so open to this. I tell you what it is. This is why it's so important to communicate this stuff. Is the number of people who come across this information that didn't know it existed, and they go, do you know, I've thought that was going on. I've always thought that, but they haven't talked about it. And then they realise that their friends thought like that too, but they haven't talked about it either. We need to start communicating this, and then we'll realise just how many people out there are actually of like mind.
See, the Illuminati says you have to be born of fire. The lower chakras, the lower energy. Following me. I'm wrapping this up in a second. He had to be born of fire. And Kanye West, and back me up on this, Kanye West said it recently, didn't he? What did he say? He said he couldn't wait on God. So he sold his soul to the devil.
Artists be too scared to stand up for something. They scared to lose their fucking house. Or they scared to lose their record deal. I sold my soul to the devil.
In other words, he made an oath with the devil. Say music is your life and you controlled by the devil.
Now you see him wearing the Baphomet. Demonic energy. You've heard of Aleister Crowley's slogan, do what thou wilt, is the whole of the law. This is their slogan, all right? Don't pay attention to the laws that were laid out. Pay no attention to God, your elders, your ancestors, but do what thou wilt is the whole of the law.
In order to test the effects of an incapacitating drug under field conditions, a simple exercise was devised. The troops were given the same quantity of water to drink before each day's exercise. Unknown to the troops, the drug was added to the water on the second day. The drug was given orally to the men in the hospital ward at 11:15, and they immediately embussed, arriving at the exercise area 10 minutes later. At 11:40, the first effects of the drug make their appearance. The men no longer take cover, they relax and begin to giggle. At this time, one man is more severely affected than the others, losing all contact with reality, dropping his rifle and becoming unable to take any part in the operation. In fact, he has to be withdrawn from the exercise a few minutes later. Section 2 starts to advance to Redwood. The troops have lost their air of urgency, and many men are laughing. Meanwhile, radio communication at the beaches has become difficult, if not impossible. Men with no specific task to perform lapsed into laughter and inconsequential behavior, though they are still capable of sustained physical effort. This man nearly succeeded in felling this tree using only a spade. 70 minutes after the administration of the drug, with one man climbing a tree, the troop commander gives up, saying, "I cannot do anything about this. I cannot control the men, and I can take no action myself. I am wiped out as an attacking force."
We are not professing to tell you the complete story of these activities. We are professing to tell you the complete story that we know. Right. But these records that we've uncovered don't tell the story. They tell pieces of it.
I look at mind control as kind of a more general, informal level of mind control, and then what I call psychiatric mind control. So psychiatric mind control is there's actually a psychiatrist or a doctor right there interacting one-on-one with the person who's the target of the subject. The more kind of general global mind control just works by control of the media, control of information, disinformation, propaganda, and I think our culture basically is run like that. It's very pervasive. The basic gist of behaviorism is Pavlov's dog experiment, where you have the dog that eats its meal and it salivates when you put the meat out. Then when you ring a bell at the same time, the bell gets paired with the salivation. And then what you find, if you condition it enough times, you can just ring the bell and the dog will start to salivate. So that's classical conditioning. There's Skinner and Watson, both experiment on children. Skinner actually on his own daughter had her in a Skinner box for a good chunk of the first 2 years of her life, which was a very enclosed environment. It was actually physically a box. The temperature was controlled. And he thought that was a good way to bring up children and get them to perform exactly the way they should. So it's basically just repeating something and getting it ingrained in the person's psyche. And that basic principle is used in mind control, used in advertising, used all over the place all the time. When you look at the techniques that are used in mind control, a lot of them are pretty low tech, like sensory deprivation, sensory isolation, food deprivation, kind of good cop, bad cop interrogation techniques. We know that hypnosis more or less was used in Greek healing centers BC. So all these techniques have been around, and I assume that what we have now is the same sort of palette of techniques with a lot of technology and sophistication added on top. Mind control has probably been around for tens or hundreds of thousands of years. It probably was well developed in ancient China. In terms of actual documented mind control, it really begins in the Second World War.
During the Second World War, there was no, in the United States, there was no central coordinating intelligence agency. There's all this fragmented, different branches of the military, and the decision was made to create a central intelligence agency called the Office of Strategic Services, the OSS, which operated till the end of the war. And then there was kind of a 2-year lull period, and then in 1947 the CIA was formed, mostly from prior OSS guys.
The buildings behind me were the headquarters for the World War II Office of Strategic Services. It was here that the first halting steps toward mind control began. The shaper and molder of OSS was General Wild Bill Donovan. In this anything-goes atmosphere, Donovan appointed this man, Stanley Lovell, a Boston industrialist, to break new ground in many scientific and technical fields. He later wrote of his OSS job that it was, quote, to stimulate the PEC's bad boy beneath the surface of every American scientist and to say to him, Throw all of your normal law-abiding concepts out of the window. Here's a chance to raise merry hell. It was in this atmosphere that the search for mind control began. It was the Cold War, and especially the trial of Jim, who was forced to tell in court that he was a spy, and then later the Korean War, with the coerced and mainly fraudulent confessions of American servicemen.
My germination took place on the...
That would spark intense interest in intelligence circles about brainwashing.
In this setting, you can get people to do most anything, do you see? Because you don't have to lay a hand on them. And by the time you get through and you go up before the judge, the fellow says, were you a spy? He says, yes, I was a spy. The Chinese never really had this kind of a state police system. They would get him in, and all this fellow does is ask you to write, rewrite, and talk to him about your whole life.
Graduated from pilot training in 1949.
While the purpose of the study was to find out about communist brainwashing techniques, CIA documents show that the agency was interested in developing mind control methods of its own to precondition and control Chinese living in this country to be sent back to their homeland as CIA agents.
The documentation on G.H. Estabrooks, who was a contractor during the Second War, proves that active mind control experimentation was already going on in the 1941 to 1945 time frame. The Office of Strategic Services, which is the precursor of the CIA, was studying different types of drugs, interrogation techniques, and G.H. Estabrooks was creating super spies, Manchurian candidates, using hypnosis and other techniques that were used operationally during the war. And the OSS then was shut down at the end of the war, and most of the personnel then became the new CIA in 1947. And the CIA's programs begin in 1950 and run forward to 1973, and then after 1973, everything is classified.
The man who would oversee the CIA's research into drugs and most of the agency's behavior programs is this man, Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist. He retired in 1973 and destroyed the records of this work. In sort of a valedictory letter, Dr. Gottlieb wrote that he and his colleagues had been able to maintain contact with the leading edge of developments in the field of biological and chemical control of human behavior. Dr. Gottlieb also testified before the Senate subcommittee, but from an anteroom where he could not be filmed.
Qualifications would be the subject selected to produce the kind of behavior that you wish, the amount of time, the procedures that are utilized, and the motivations of the people who are designing, executing, and administering the procedures. You're asking whether an individual can be, under hypnosis, influenced, coerced, persuaded, shaped to perform an antisocial act, or a destructive act, or an act of violence. My answer would be yes.
Control tech. Control techniques and mind-altering chemicals? Well, it isn't a theory, it's a documented fact. The US government did run just such a program, dubbed Project MK-Ultra, and it was exposed in the 1970s. Or, at least parts of it were. What we don't know about Project MK-Ultra and its affiliated sub-projects could probably fill several warehouses with books, but what we do know is voluminous and scary enough. The formerly top-secret program was as horrific as any dystopian fantasy ever devised, and is now openly acknowledged and documented. Even the Wikipedia article on the subject admits that the project was completely illegal, employed unwitting test subjects, and attempted to manipulate people's states and alter brain functions through the surreptitious administration of drugs, especially LSD and other chemicals, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, isolation, verbal and sexual abuse, and other forms of torture. Some aspects of the MKUltra nightmare are relatively well known by now. One series of experiments, presided over by Sidney Gottlieb, involved administering LSD to unwitting Americans, including mental patients, prisoners, drug addicts, and prostitutes. This included Operation Midnight Climax, in which unsuspecting men were drugged and lured to CIA safe houses by prostitutes on the CIA payroll. Their sexual activity was monitored behind one-way mirrors and used to study the effect of sexual blackmail and the use of mind-altering substances in field operations. Another experiment, dubbed MKUltra Subproject 68, was overseen by the esteemed psychiatrist Dr. Ewan Cameron. This subproject involved Dr. Cameron using LSD, paralytic drugs, electroshock therapy, and drug-induced comas to attempt to wipe patients' memories and reprogram their psyche. When brought to light, the program was identified as an attempt to refine methods of medical torture for the purpose of extracting information from unwilling sources, and condemned. Lawsuits regarding the blatantly illegal experimentation conducted by Cameron continue to this day. Yet despite CIA assurances that the program was scrapped in 1973, would the CIA ever lie to us? Documentary evidence continues to emerge that the program was far more extensive and horrific than the public was ever told. But simply pointing to the documented horrors that took place during the officially acknowledged period of the officially acknowledged program's officially acknowledged existence is enough to make even the most stubborn conspiracy deniers squirm in their seats.
MKUltra would mostly be remembered for its drug experiments.
I'm going to give you this cup that contains lysergic acid 100 microgram. Will you drink it?
That's acid. Characterized by hallucinations, illusions, distortions of perception and thinking.
John Gittinger, recently retired chief psychologist for the CIA.
We could disable a whole city by putting a very small amount in a water supply.
Everything from prostitution studies to poisons to top secret weapons like the heart attack gun grabbed headlines with sensational accounts of the CIA's sketchy techniques.
Have you brought with you some of those devices which would have enabled the CIA to use this poison for, we have indeed, for killing people?
Good evening. The White House disclosed today that the CIA's drug testing program on unsuspecting Americans had been more extensive than the agency had admitted.
CIA secretly funneled money through scores of research foundations, colleges, hospitals, and clinics, including a $375,000 grant through the Geschicter Research Fund here in Washington.
The complex and compartmentalized management of such a large project, through front groups and with the participation of countless agencies and institutions to carry out secret research, should be a testament to just how sophisticated and shadowy government science had become.
There are names of doctors, there are names of officials, there are names of former and present CIA officials who were involved, names of hospitals. And depending on how you treat it, it could be sensational.
Rastafari, who liveth and reigneth with I and I continually, ever faithful, ever sure. They say experience teacheth wisdom, but there's a natural mystic blowing through the air.
Family, you see when you come into this world and see the world just like this video. You have to see your family this way, your friend this way, school, work, making money, and living your everyday life while you're in the physical form, meaning things what you can touch, yeah? So live it just like this video. Remember, inbox me, get my number, and we all see each other this way. See your family too. Sometimes the closest one will hurt you. The closest one will mislead you. So, you know what I'm saying? Inbox me.
Chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Yeah? Alright, family circle, all the way. Woo, woo. You did see the one with the glass. So, I'm going to make you think about or see the one without the glass. So, you have to think for yourself, you know what I mean? No, who am I? I always go spiritual, family. I know say there's a lot of confusion. Wait, watch this one. Without the glass. See if you can see the reality in this. Fake.
Planned and attempted to control and alter the minds of those who inhabited the country that they run. How the United States government attempted to develop psychological, biological, and radiological weapons to turn both foreign and domestic spies into sleeper agents, and how it could still be going on today. This is Project MKUltra. And thus, Project MKUltra was born. But MKUltra wasn't just one single project. Look at it as a web of experiments that were all interconnected with one ultimate goal: control. Project Bluebird, Artichoke, MK Search, and MK Naomi are just to name a few. But it goes much, much further. Although it started earlier, MKUltra was officially signed and begun in 1953 under CIA Director Allen Dulles. It was one of the largest projects ever known. 150 sub-projects were created and handled by over 80 different institutions, universities, prisons, pharmaceutical companies, all of which who had little to no idea that they were doing work directly for the CIA. However, that didn't stop some of the most creative experiments from taking place. Many of these, as you might imagine, were very, very illegal. American as well as Canadian citizens were unknowingly and unwillingly tested on. Project Artichoke was a sort of continuation of Project Bluebird. Both of these projects focused on hypnosis in many forms. In a 1975 CIA memo, Artichoke is the study and/or use of special interrogation methods and techniques. These methods have been known to include the use of drugs and chemicals, so-called truth serums, hypnosis, and total isolation, a form of psychological harassment. They were looking for ways to control human behavior. These methods were to be used for several different reasons, some to protect against foreign spies, some more disturbing than others. The goal of the research was best defined in a 1954 CIA memo regarding Project Artichoke. It states, "Can an individual be made to perform an act of attempted assassination involuntarily under the influence of Artichoke?" Artichoke eventually evolved into the more well-known MKUltra, and the sub-projects of MKUltra attempted to find answers to that very question. Sub-Project 68 is perhaps one of the most illegal of these entire sub-projects, but that's not saying much. Both American and Canadian citizens were used as test subjects against their will or knowledge. At the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, Dr. Ewan Cameron would lead one of the most twisted projects of the late 1950s and early 1960s. Sub-Project 68 was fully funded by the CIA, who also paid Dr. Cameron $69,000, or in today's world, nearly $600,000 to carry out secret CIA experiments. Dr. Cameron was heavily interested in being able to erase and reprogram the human mind, and the CIA could obviously use that power in many ways. These experiments would become so severe and damaging that patients who came into the hospital for symptoms such as minor anxiety and depression would leave with their minds fried. They'd experience amnesia, they'd forget how to talk, their brains would be completely wiped, similar to that of a baby. Cameron's patients were subject to some of the most mind-altering drugs and methods known to man. LSD, electroshock at up to 40 times their normal power, drug-induced comas for extended periods of time, and much, much more. Take the case of Linda McDonald, a typical mother who is experiencing the harder parts of being an adult: depression, physical pain, lack of sleep, and so on. She visits Montreal to be assessed by Dr. Cameron, and almost immediately, he diagnoses her as a schizophrenic, and sends her to what is known today as the sleep room. And this is where it turns bad. Cameron decides to put Linda McDonald into a drug-induced coma for 86 days straight. In the sleep room, patients were often subject to this electroshock therapy, multiple times a day for weeks on end, without any consent. Linda McDonald was subject to over 100 of these shock therapy sessions. As time went on, she went from being able to tell the doctors her name and information about herself to having her brain completely wiped. In a 1998 documentary, she states,
I had to be toilet trained. I was a vegetable. I had no identity, I had no memory, I'd never existed in the world before. Like a baby. Just like a baby that has to be toilet trained.
She eventually was dismissed from the hospital and went back home to her family. However, she had no recollection of these people, or even knowledge that these people were even her own family in the first place. This isn't the only case that happened at the Allen Institute, though. Various other cases took place. In many cases, patients would be recorded during therapy sessions talking about their families, or other people, or things that would bring them negative thoughts or have negative impacts on their life. These negative messages would then be cut up and played on repeat for these patients, sometimes over hundreds of thousands of times. This exact thing happened to Robert Logie. He was admitted to the institute for a leg pain. They thought it was all on his head, and he was then sent to the sleep room. He was given LSD every 2 days, sometimes mixed with other drugs. And then, while in a drug-induced coma, the message, "You killed your mother," was repeated to him for 23 days straight. These experiments would take place on all ages, from children to old men and women. Many of the children at this institute were the victims of abuse, and in one case, one of the children were filmed performing sexual acts with multiple government officials as a plot to secure funding for these experiments. Cameron died in 1967 without anyone in the public knowing about what he had been doing for the past decade. Subproject 54 studied techniques to cause concussions and other brain-damaging experiments. It was supposed to be handled by the United States Navy. Why? Well, the project was to use suboral frequency blasts to cause concussions. And although the program was supposedly never carried out, there is still some evidence that might show some kind of work being done. In the hearings before the Subcommittee on Health and Scientific Research in late September 1977, there's a passage that caught my eye. While talking about funding from various institutes across the country, Dr. Geschichter, a CIA employee, mentions something interesting. He first notes about a study on concussions, where heads of animals were repeatedly rocked back and forth in order to cause concussion and then further amnesia. Next, however, is more interesting. There was apparently a later business, whatever that may be, that through the use of radar, was attempting to put monkeys to sleep. A senator present at the meeting asked, could they? As Dr. Geschichter states, yes, they could. He goes on to say that it showed if you got into too deep a sleep, you injured the heat center of the brain the way you cook meat, and there was a borderline that made it dangerous. So basically, the CIA was using radio and electromagnetic signals to attempt to put monkeys and other animals to sleep. And they could. Not only that, but they could almost literally cook an animal's brain to the point to where they would go brain dead, and in some cases, even die. Now, I don't know about you, but if this could work on monkeys and supposedly other animals as well, I would imagine that this very experiment took place with human subjects as well. The problem is, after this hearing, I couldn't find any other papers or documents that even remotely talked about this sleep experiment. An experiment that seems to have succeeded was washed away and never mentioned again, and the mystery of Subproject 54 fades away. At this point, not much is out of the question when it comes to the lengths that the CIA would go to in order to conduct their experiments. Operation Midnight Climax was kept relatively a secret up until the mid-1970s. In cities such as San Francisco, California, and New York City, CIA-funded safe houses were built for one specific reason: prostitution. Well, not exactly that, but prostitutes did have a large role in this operation. These safe houses were often hotel rooms, but not just any normal hotel room. They would be equipped with one-way mirrors so that a person on the outside could see through it, but anyone inside couldn't see out. The CIA would often pay prostitutes in these cities a good bit of cash to bring men back to these hotel rooms so they could be observed. But not normally. After these women would bring men back to the safe house, they would prepare drinks for them. But the women would slyly put LSD in the men's drinks. For hours on end, CIA agents would sit behind these one-way mirrors and observe how the LSD affected these various men, and what kind of information could be extracted from them. These men were never informed or told that they would be taking part in these experiments. There were no doctors present at any of these encounters, just CIA employees sitting back and watching. For the CIA, there's no downside here. They would often pay these prostitutes large sums of money, enough to keep their mouths shut and out of trouble, so no problems would arise there. The men lured back to these hotels were also unlikely to speak out against the things that occurred, and would never know that the CIA was even involved. What are the odds of one of them going to a news outlet, claiming that the CIA drugged them with LSD, and then forced them to follow a prostitute back to a hotel room? Practically zero. It didn't end there. The operation soon expanded, and the CIA began to reach out and dose people in restaurants, bars, and even beaches, all of which took place on American citizens who didn't even have the slightest bit of knowledge that they were being experimented on by their own government. On a foggy Wednesday morning in late November of 1953, a group of United States CIA operatives from Camp Detrick took a weekend getaway to a lake house in Maryland. A little Thanksgiving retreat, we'll call it. The group contained many people: Frank Olson, an Army scientist turned CIA employee; Vincent Ruitt, a friend and division chief of Olson. They were also accompanied by Sidney Gottlieb, head of the technical service staff at the CIA, his deputy Robert Lashbrook, and a few others.
Hatter was mad because it represented hatters of the time, and that apparently the guys who made hats used mercury to turn the fur into felt, and they would breathe the mercury, and it would cause brain damage, and hence the Mad Hatter. And that was in the 70s and 80s that I had my young kids, and I at the same time was learning that we were supposed to avoid using aluminum pots and pans because there was apparently a connection to autism. So that was the first time for me that I made any connection between heavy metals and human health. And then a few years ago, I learned that there was an unnatural amount of aluminum in the soil, and that there was a program spraying aluminum and other heavy metals up into the atmosphere. And so I wanted to check it out. And that's the first way that chemtrails showed up for me. Basically, chemtrails is a geoengineering program where airplanes fly at high altitudes and they spray chemicals into the atmosphere, including aluminum, barium, and strontium. And then those metals fall to the ground and they land in our bodies, on the soil, in our trees, in our food, and in our water. Many people confuse chemtrails with the normal jet contrails. The difference is that the normal jet contrails actually dissipate within minutes, while the heavy metals in the chemtrails cause those trails to persist for hours. And it's not a hypothetical thing. There are 32 states that already have legislation that's related to weather modification. The U.S. agencies that are documented to be involved in it include the U.S. Air Force, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the U.S. Department of the Interior, the National Science Foundation, and I know China boasted about using cloud seeding and weather changing before the 2008 Olympics in order to keep the opening ceremony dry. So that this is happening is completely documented. It's just that you have to know where to look because it's not talked about on mainstream weather reports. And this is where it gets controversial. And it's kind of weird because even though it's factual that there are metals in the atmosphere and factual that those metals are falling to the ground, When you acknowledge that or question the legitimacy or the legality or the safety or the morality, it becomes controversial. And really, that's sad, because if you're questioning something that has such major impact on us and on future generations and on our planet, it seems to me that it should be one of the most natural and encouraged parts of life and education. So if you're not educated about this issue, I encourage you to do some basic research, and I've put some links at the bottom of this blog to help make that easy. I personally don't know anybody who is informed who isn't concerned, although the range of concerns is vast. For some, it might be that they think that this is a benevolent weather modification program, like putting snow on ski slopes in a bad season, but that it's inadvertently having some negative health impacts. Somebody else might think that the so-called solar radiation management is backfiring, because the supposed idea is that you blanket the sky with these heavy metals and it reflects the sun back to itself. However, it's also creating a blanket and trapping the heat in, and so they are concerned about that. Somebody else might think that it's a corporate agenda to get an upper hand on commodities trading by being able to control and therefore predict the weather. And when you realize that 80% of the global economy is impacted by weather, that would certainly give someone an upper hand. Somebody else might just think it's a very sinister plan to sicken people and further control our food supply. The point is that there are any number of concerns, no matter what belief system motivates you. And that's significant, because I think it both validates the range of dangers and at the same time it informs what we can do about it. Because even for those of us who are convinced that we have a problem, our motivations and concerns vary, and that means that our strategies for engagement also have to vary. So if you want to get engaged in this issue, and I hope you do, I recommend that you first identify what part of this most concerns you. What is your particular passion? Because what we notice is that if each of us is doing the part that we're most naturally passionate about, we can sustain our efforts, we don't burn out, and it turns out somebody else wants to do a part that you don't want to do. And you can check that out at thrivemovement.com on the Solutions Hub. There are tools there to explore what other people are doing, and also to explore your own purpose and passion. So currently at thrivemovement.com, we're getting the money and the infrastructure together to create a more enhanced Solutions Hub that's going to make it easier to
fall into one.
By looking at the phone and using it, the long-term effects of both stress and anxiety and chronic mental health problems and physical ailments.
Black holes are one of the strangest things in existence.
It's okay.
What the fuck happened to Fortnite? Looks like a fucking asshole. This is supposed to be the new fucking season? Bullshit. I ain't played it no fucking more.
My God.
Systems might be still developing. The American Cancer Society recommends individuals who are concerned about radio frequency exposure to limit their exposure to phones, including using an earpiece and limiting cell phone use, particularly among children. So, from these serious
family circle, hallelujah. And remember we are all our brother keeper or sister keeper. So, knowledge is a wonderful thing, but knowing the earth, it's beautiful. Unity, inbox me.
Start it like this. When the sun come, knocking at your door, when love come knocking at the door, knocking at the door. When the earth come knocking at the door, knocking at the door. When the star, the moon come knocking at the door. When the love come knocking at the door, knocking at the door. Say open your eyes, don't be blind. Me say open your mind and know what to think. The mouth to say, open the ears and know what to listen. Open the eyes, don't be blind. Me say Satan is a sly old fox. If we could catch him and put him in the box, lock that box and throw it. All those tricks he played and say Satan is a sly old fox. If we could catch him and put him in the box, lock that box and throw away the key. For all those tricks he played and I say inbox me, world unity, say family circle, me say all the way, say every day, say every day. We wake up and pray for a better day, a better way. Every day, woo, woo. Say we make the money, they take the money. We make the money, they take the money. We buy the house, they take the land. We buy the house, they take the land. A different day, but it's the same thing. Say open the eyes, me say don't be blind. If love
Yes, family. So we're gonna turn up the heat, you know. You know what I mean? Yeah. Turn up the heat, meaning drop in some music, but me have to change them when they see copyright come up same way. You know what I mean? But I'm going to turn it up. You know what I mean? All right. So like what I say, I'm gonna start it with my forever best artist. You know what I mean? My forever. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. The artists here, they kind of bring me on the journey and show me a whole heap of light, you know what I mean? And so far, me reach, you know, yeah, I reach, you know, family, when you study life and when you're on that journey, it's like you try for go to the top, but not really to the system top, you know what I mean? But to the top of your knowledge and the top of your purpose in life, you know what I mean? Or why you was in the earth, you know what I mean? And this is where my knowledge take me, you know what I mean? We're above the earth, not above each other, because we all each other, you know what I mean? Like, you are your mother, you are your father, if you understand what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So everyone is you. That's why them say I, and I. You know what I mean? That's why they say, oh, everyone is one. You know what I mean? That's why I say one world, one family, one unity. Remember, we are build a family circle group and WhatsApp where if we have a million family in the group, we are put £1 together. That is £1,000,000. You see what I say, family? And with £1,000,000, what you can do with it. So let us build together, grow together. Yeah. All right. So now me go play a next music version of music, and after me finish play the music version, I go into the reality side. So you know all of these things what I was playing before, it was like these was just like the system what we go through every day in it. So we have to go above the system to reach our ability in life. So I'm gonna play some music, and after I play the music, I go to the next session. You know what I mean? The next session is the reality of life. Or you think about life, or you think about one, or you think about like the things you do, where like you're from, where what gift you have, the journey where you should be on, and everything like that. And I got it like I'm telling you, it just passed this level, you know what I mean? So I'm going to just zip and play some music. I'm playing the music. After that session is like we're going to go to the reality level. You know what I mean? The reality after reality. Reality over the church, reality over Muslim, over all religion, over all belief. Over my belief, because after you go over my belief, you go to nature. You see what I'm saying? You is nature. You see that soul inside of you, it connect with everything in the universe. That is the level I'm going to go on after I finish play the music level, you know what I mean, family? So this now is the music level now, yeah? So I'm going to like turn off my mic now, microphone, and just play some music, and after the music we just step it up to the reality level. Yeah, man. Alright, love family.
all ye enemies of Jah, and know that the Lord God Jah the Almighty shall wound the head of his enemies. Jah, Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first. Oh, let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melteth before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. Oh, let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God, yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth on the heavens by his name. Jah, Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first, our Father, strength and Redeemer, who lives and rules and reigns over all living things. A Father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in dry land. O God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, Father, strength and Redeemer, when thou wentest forth before thy people. When thou did march through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Shinar itself was moved at the presence of God, Jah Rastafari, the God of Israel. Go, O God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, did send us plentiful rain, whereby thou did confirm every chance when it was weary. Thy congregation hath dwelt therein. Thou, O God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, has prepared of thy goodness for the poor. The Lord God, Jah the Almighty, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Kings of armies did flee apace, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. Though ye have lain among the pots, yet shall ye be as the wings of a dove covered with silver, and her feathers with yellow gold. When the Almighty God, Jah Rastafari, Haile Selassie, O Father, strength and Redeemer, scattered kings in it, it was...
outside on the rain. What about killing fears? It is your mind. Did you ever stop this noise, this crying earth, this weeping shore?
I see no change. Wake up in the morning and I ask myself, is life worth living? Should I blast myself? I'm tired of being poor, even work, so I'm looking for. Damn about it, live the wrong. Kill a nigga, he's a hero. I'm hustling for niggas trying to make some money to feed my dad. First ship them, don't let them deal with brothers. Give them guns, step back, watch them kill each other. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy PD up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. We gotta start making changes. Learn this instead of two distant strangers. And that's how it's supposed to be. How can the devil take a brother if he's close to me? I let it go back to what we played as kids, but things changed. That's the way it is. Come on, come on.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
Hear me.
Oh,
come on.
That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same.
Never be the same, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
That's just the way it is. Oh yeah.
I see no changes, all I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races. We under, I wonder what it takes to make this one better place. Let's erase the wasted. Take the evil out the people, they'll be acting right. Cause both black and white and smoke a crack tonight. And the only time we chill is when we kill each other. It takes skill to be real, time to heal each other. And although it seems evident, we ain't ready. It ain't a secret, don't conceal the fact. The penitentiary's packed and it's filled with blacks. But some things will never change. Try to show another way, but it's staying in the dope game. Now tell me what's a mother to do. Being real don't appeal to the brother in you. You gotta operate the easy. When I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter and all the niggas in the struggle, you know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop, smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember the hard, you never thought that hip-hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I rhyme tight. Time to get paid, blow up like the world trade. Born sinner, the opposite of a winner. Remember when I used to eat sardines for dinner? Peace to Raw G, Brucey B, Kid Capri, Funk Master Flex, Love Bug, Star Ski. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Call a crib, same number, same hood. It's all good. And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for you have when I'm saying your name. 'Cause you're the only one. I'll give you son.
I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin.
Welcome. Why, oh, why, oh, why? Hey. Chronics, left and right. Just soldiers are come, left and right. Bella, ooh, yeah. Ah, boy. And them say, here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I start recruit soldiers for Selassie army. Ay. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You're not for axes who at the general issue in a warning. Job people them a ball, said them tired of mediocre. Evil a go fall when we tried in Ethiopia. Believing from down, cause them life no easy boat. Even Bantan said it's not an easy road. Operation occupy the motherland, calling all soldiers to kind each other along. From creation, he writing a job plan, but Chronics can't do it alone. So I'm recruiting soldiers coming from near and far. I choose executing Selassie I works and me Rastafari true. And them say here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Sent by the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. I'm gonna start recruit soldiers for Selassie I army. Aye. Here comes trouble, here comes the danger. Welcome the Savior, welcome the Rasta youths. You're not for axes who are the general issue in a warning, boy. Waving the banner red, green and gold. It is such a honor prophecy. Discovered on stones, on trees and scrolls. And even in the stories that Jesus wrote. That youth must inherit the earth. Can't sit down, Jaja send me fi work. Bring the fire in a round, Jaja send me fi purge. But I can't do it alone. Rasta recruiting.
living to the Father, I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day. Only hike in the price, I'm a let we have to pay. While our leaders play, all I see people are rip and a rob, all are grave. Thief never love is a thief with long bag. No love for the people who are suffer real bad. Another toll to the poor, may God help his soul. What is to stop the youth from get out of control? Full up our education, yet no own a payroll. The clothes from me back of countless I old. Could go on and on, the fool has never been told. I'm a living while I'm living to the Father I will pray. Only Him know how we get through every day with only hike in the price. I'm a late we have to pay while our leaders play. Me say who can afford to run will run, but what about those who can't? They will have to stay. Opportunity a scarce commodity. In this time I say, when mama spend her last and say,
True. Yeah! His foundation is in the whole of mountains. Jehovah's the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things have been spoken of the old city of God. I'll make mention to Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. With the old Philistine Tyre, with Ethiopia, it shall be said that this man was born there. And the highest himself shall establish the earth. Jah Rastafari. Rastaman vibration, yeah, positive. Iron eye vibration, yeah, positive. I am an iration, yeah, iron eyes. Positive vibration, yeah, positive. If you get down and you quarrel every day, we are saying prayers to a devil, I say. Why not help one another on the way? Hey, said my Jesus. Just a little bit easier. Say we just could not live in a negative way, so we make way for the positive day, 'cause it's a new day, and it's a new feeling.
man, yeah.
Positive.
Look at yourself and say, no one can stop you. Oh, yeah. Rise to the occasion. Go ahead, you know you're strong. No one can stop you. It's for you to make the best in the life. Now that you've got the chance, step towards your goal. It's alright. Fulfill your needs and the wants. You to make the best in the life. Now that you've got the chance, get up and step towards your goal. It's alright. Yeah, yeah. Some people read and meditate, others move scanty, yo. Some people are conscious about life, others are still panting, yo. Some people like strong drink, cognac, champagne and brandy, yo. Babies love ice cream and cake and candy, yo. I love herbs and girls, good words, roots, I'm a shanty, yo. Girls love clothes and shoes, going to school brand new and that means spanking, yo. Yeah, we all need education because that's the damn thing, yo. Things fade, leaving it standing. It's for you to make the best in life. That you've got the chance, get up and step towards your goal. It's alright. Fulfill your needs and the wants. You to make the best in life. Now that you've got the chance, get up and step towards your goal. It's alright. Fulfill your needs and wants. You've got the clearance, that's the reference. Perseverance for the utmost best should be your preference. Skills of trade and talents is your evidence. Help those afar off, teach in your residence. Oh yeah, yeah, getting sent. Wow, 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 wow. Oh wow.
And a little bit dead for the head and for the bell. The truth them woulda never come tell. Else the one of them kingdom woulda fell. Look how much innocent them lock up in a cell. So why should I support a system who no care for the poor? The poor. So why should I vote when I'm always the victim? Them no care for the poor. The poor. So I just roam and chant now, yeah. Bing and a stove alone, a light fire. Babylon the wall, I uno done a vampire. Uno done suck the blood of the poor aya. No care how we block the road and light tire. Nothing still not transpire. We on, in the deadly zone. Lord, we are forgive you, check the garrison. It's full of bad man. If you never suffer yet, oh come see what lead the people. I show my people, I need the people. That them use and defeat the people. Roof a leak through rainy season. Them not see we now, them blind to we. When them figure we down, them hide from we. Them set it up again and then the lies from we. Then them said them love you, what the irony. So why should I support a system who no care for the poor? The poor. So why should I vote when I'm always the victim? Them no care for the poor. The poor. So I just a step in a room and chant.
Keep on press. Push forward, never let the wicked get you down. Gotta make a step. Some other time them we get caught up in the moment. So overwhelmed of the drive, but I don't know where I am going. So I hold my head and I cry, I don't want to. Tell myself, oh, I can't do. But remember, we must never lose. Oh,
Aye, 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 aye. Have a purpose in a life. Open up your eyes, analyze and realize what's inside. Stand sturdy on the journey and we'll learn it. The victory sweet when you know the battle was a furnace one. Light a fire and corruption make it burn it. Them can't stop when you fool. Hey, hey. Rocky never say that quit already. Hit me halfway. You 10 times a pass. Never listen to them when them say you can't wait. To be humble. And it's good to be what who you are because it's good for the soul. Them never really want to make it if truth to be done. But Jah have a plan for you. Aye, 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 aye. Have a purpose in a life. Open up your eyes, analyze and realize. Say you got the powers inside. Stand sturdy on the journey. Can we live it and we learn it. The victory sweet when you know the battle was a furnace one. Light a fire and corruption make we burn it. Them can't stop when you feel. Them try to keep we down. One get we have a try. Not me work so hard, me come so far, can't mess up that. Them throw we out in the jungle, now we lead the pack. Now go make them drown we out, cause we no idiot. Wanna inspire my people so they understand. Encourage them to do the right and load the wrong. Looking at my early years, I was a loose cannon. I for make a change, got to be a better one. Aye, 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 aye. Have a purpose, you and I. Open up your eyes, analyze and realize. Say you got the power.
Yes, family. So YouTube, I don't know if them are blueprint me or red list me or pink list me or whatever list me. You know what I mean? About 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 times, then give me then call it red card. You know what I mean? When I say red card, them put up them copyright. You know what I mean? Alright, so now we're reaching to the level of the reality now, yeah. But first we show about the system, how the system was going wrong in it. So now somebody's like, I'm not giving the knowledge of like what the earth don't know yet. You know what I mean? I have to give the knowledge what the earth know. It's a massive family because if I go like proper spirituality, the more you go into your spirituality, the more stronger it get in it. So I don't really want to go immortal spirituality. Me just I go natural spirituality. Spirituality where family we know about already, you know? Like spirituality like you sleep, you dream, you get all of these things. You know what I mean? That is the deepest I will go, you know? But at the moment this round now is the reality round. You know, like going to work and is all a program in it. So um before I start this one now, I was playing the system bit. So now I'm playing the reality bit. You know, like how you think for yourself when you see someone, you know, if you thinking something what someone is thinking is not no joke or not like that because your life is real. You know what I mean, family? Your life is real. Maybe the government life is not real and is intimidate you, but your life is real. Your journey is real. You know what I mean, family? And you are on a journey. You see, either if you go on a holiday or whatever, you are on a journey. You know what I mean, family? So this is the reality session now. You know what I mean? Alright, so we're gonna start the reality session with this one, yeah?
If you awaken from this illusion and you understand that black implies white, self implies other, life implies death, or shall I say, death implies life, you can feel yourself not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. I'm not trying to sell you on this idea in the sense of converting you to it. I want you to play with it. I want you to think of its possibilities. I'm not trying to prove it. I'm just putting it forward as a possibility of life to think about. So then, let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And that you could, for example, have the power within one night to dream 75 years of time, or any length of time you wanted to have. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure you could conceive. And after several nights of 75 years of total pleasure each, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. And you would dig that and come out of that and say, wow, that was a close shave, wasn't it? And then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now. You would dream the dream of living the life that you are actually living today. That would be within the infinite multiplicity of choices you would have, of playing that you weren't God. Because the whole nature of the Godhead, according to this idea, is to play that he's not. So in this idea then, everybody is fundamentally the ultimate reality. Not God in a politically kingly sense, but God in the sense of being the self, the deep down basic whatever there is. And you're all that, only you're pretending you're not.
Yes, family. So upright and upright, you know what I mean? And this level, you know, when them a teach you about you shouldn't be like knowing things like you must leave your brain like empty when you're meditating. But what you gonna meditate on when you're leaving your brain empty? This one is a good one, you know what I mean, family? Because you're coming at the earth and you're coming at the earth for a purpose. So why when you meditate, these people trying to clean out your brain, you know what I mean? It's good when you have a lot of things in your brain so you know what topic to talk about. If it's rainy, you know what topic to talk about. If it's sunny, that's why we have all different kind of things in the earth. So that means you always have to be thinking. Try to shut down your thinking. So the next video, this one going to talk about Buddhism. You know, Buddhism teach you about to clear the mind. Oh, you must clear your mind. You know what I mean? Not even the dead mind don't clear. Cause the dead still want to come back in the earth, or they still got something else to do. You know what I mean? So this reality video is about the Buddhism and meditation. You know what I mean, family? So make I drop it like that, yeah? Alright.
How does your head look to your eyes? Well, I tell you, see out in front, because all that you see out in front of you is how you feel inside your head. So it's the same with this. And so, for this reason, the great sixth patriarch, Huineng in China, said that it was a great mistake for those who were practicing Buddhist meditation to try to make their minds empty. And a lot of people tried to do that. They sat down and tried to have no thoughts whatever in their minds. And not only no thoughts, but no sense experiences. So they'd close their eyes, they'd plug up their ears, and generally go in for sensory deprivation. Well, sensory deprivation, if you know how to handle it, can be quite interesting. It'll have the same sort of results as taking LSD or something like that. And there are special labs made nowadays where you can be sensorily deprived to an amazing degree. But if you're a sort of a good yogi, this doesn't bother you at all, send some people crazy. But if you dig this world, you can have a marvelous time in a sensory deprivation scene. Also, especially if they get you into a condition of weightlessness. Skin divers going down below a certain number of feet, I don't know exactly how far it is, but get a sense of weightlessness. And at the same time, this deprives them of every sense of responsibility. They become alarmingly happy. And they have been known to simply take off their masks and offer them to a fish. And of course, they then drown. So if you skin dive, and you have to keep your eye on the time. You have to have a water watch or a friend who's got a string attached to you. If you go down that far, and at a certain specific time, you know you have got to get back. However happy you feel, and however much inclined to say, survival, what the hell's the point of that? And this is happening to the men who go out into space. They will increasingly find that they have to have automatic controls to bring them back. Quite aside that they can't change in any way from the spaceship. Now, isn't that interesting? Can you become weightless here? I said a little while ago that the person who really accepts transience begins to feel weightless. When Suzuki was asked, what is it like to have experienced Satori, enlightenment, he said, it's just like ordinary everyday experience, but about 2 inches off the ground. Zhuangzi, the Taoist, said, it is easy enough to stand still. The difficulty is to walk without touching the ground. And why do you feel so heavy? It isn't just a matter of gravitation and weight. It is that you feel that you are carrying your body around. So there is a koan in Zen Buddhism. Who is it that carries this corpse around? And so when you feel, common speech expresses this all the time. Life is a drag. I feel I'm just dragging myself around. My body is a burden to me. To whom? To whom? That's the question. You see? And when there is nobody left for whom the body can be a burden, the body isn't a burden. But so long as you fight it, it is. So then, when there is nobody left to resist the thing that we call change, which is simply another word for life, and when we dispel the illusion that we think our thoughts, instead of being just a stream of thoughts, and that we feel our feelings instead of being just feelings, it's like saying, to feel the feelings is a redundant expression. It's like saying, actually, I hear sounds, for there are no sounds which are not heard. Hearing is sound. Seeing is sight. You don't see sights. Sightseeing is a ridiculous word. You could just say either sighting or seeing, one or the other, but sightseeing is nonsense. So we keep doubling our words, and this doubling is comparable to oscillation in an electrical system. where there's too much feedback, where you remember in the old-fashioned telephone, where the receiver was separate from the mouthpiece, the transmitter. If you wanted to annoy someone who was abusing you on the telephone, you could make them listen to themselves by putting the receiver to the mouthpiece. But it actually didn't have that effect. It set up oscillation. It started to howl. It could be very, very hard on the ears. The same way, if you turn a television camera at the monitor, that is to say, the television set in the studio, the whole thing will start to jiggle. The visual picture will be of oscillation, like that. And the same thing happens here. When you get to think that you think your thoughts, the you standing aside the thoughts has the same sort of consequence as seeing double. And then you think, can I observe the thinker thinking the thoughts? Or, I am worried, and I ought not to worry, but because I can't stop worrying, I'm worried because I worry. And you see where that could lead to. It leads to exactly the same situation that happens in the telephone, and that is what we call anxiety, trembling. But this discipline that we're talking about of Nagarjunas abolishes anxiety, because you discover that no amount of anxiety makes any difference to anything that's going to happen. In other words, from the first standpoint, the worst is going to happen. You're all going to die. And don't just put it off in the back of your mind and say, I'll consider that later. It's the most important thing to consider now, because it enables you. It is the mercy of nature, because it's going to enable you to let go and not defend yourself all the time, waste all energies in self-defense. So
Yes, family, it's the upright and upright, you know what I mean? Bright like the sunlight, you know what I mean, family? The sun shining at your family. This world have so much things inside of it. And guess what's the biggest deal and the biggest thing? Everything in the earth is inside of you, but you don't know how to open it up. Family, how someone for use money and try to govern you or enslave you. You're more stronger, more powerful than money. Something is wrong in it. That's why I say inbox me, get my number, and we pull together, family. Family, we just come into a time zone where they call name Earth, they can call it heaven, or they can call it Zion, they can call it anything they want to call it. Them can call it hell, they can call it anything, family. But we come in a time zone, and this is the only time zone we know of flesh. You know what I mean, family? Every other else time zone is all a dream and a mirage. Understand, family? A lot of family at the head, they get the knowledge, and get the knowledge, they gone crazy, they gone bonkers, they try to rule us, they try to kill us, they try to do everything, family. And you see, if these family ever think they're gonna kill me, family, I give them wicked, wicked beating in the end. You know what I mean? Because they have to come to the spiritual side. Family, you think I'm gonna come in this world and fear anyone, family? Huh? You think you should come in this world and fear anyone? Family, it's just mislead, they get mislead. They are not evil, they are not no devil, they are just like you. Read up some evilous book and they think they are evil. Family, there's no evil in the earth. How long you live into this earth, yeah, and you don't see evil? Why you going to see someone say they are worshiping devil and you never see a devil? You is not the devil. No one you know is the devil. You know what I mean, family? It's just the teaching what they get, and they get brainwashed and they get messed up in the brain, and they think that some of us got to be a devil. You know what I mean, family. So know that, family. A full time we must come together, help each other, family. We're not playing no hero role. You know what I mean? We're playing the role what we come into the earth for. And when I'm gonna finish this side of segment, meaning this the level above the system segment, because above the system I'm playing these video now, you know what I mean, out of this box, you know what I mean. But they have a next level of out of this box, you know what I mean, family. So I don't reach to that level yet. So I'm just gonna keep it above the level of the earth knowledge, you know what I mean, family. So know that, family, everything is a program in this earth. You know what I mean? Not saying the program is bad, but we have to know the program and think above the program, because we are not under no program. The highest knowledge what mankind pretend like they have is technology. No iPhone, no smartphone is smarter than you, family. It's just a little dumb object. It's just electric in a plastic frame they call mobile phone. Just like the computer. You see what I'm saying, family? It's just electric. You know what I mean? And next they turn the electric into digital. You see what I'm saying, family? So it's not special and it's not more than you. And money is just a power what mankind make. You watch Superman let power through his eye. You watch Batman have all of these gadget thing. You watch all of these things, family. It's just a illusion. You know what I mean? Rich, no one is rich in this earth because they come into the earth with nothing. So no rich one is more better than you, nor powerful than you, family. But if we believe in it as we as a soul in the earth, as you as a spiritual being in the earth, if you believe in anything, it can happen. That's why they send us to school, for us to believe in things. You see what I'm saying, family? And you see the eyes just see shapes and things, you know what I mean, family? It's not like, oh, we're gonna see our future through that eyes, you know what I mean? We visualize things, we dream things. That is the reality, or we see things, family. You dream it or you vision it. You know what I mean? So, like, this level now is above the system level. You see? Alright, so make I go for our next video. Wait, family. Family, you can't come into this world and feel say mankind is more than you. Or you feel say, oh, you is just people. Who the hell is people? You're a spiritual being, family. You are a spiritual being. Make I show you again. Make I show you this sister. I love player, you know.
They know about us. And when you don't know who you are, you become a weapon against yourself. That's why it's so important to know, to be able to authentically identify with who you are. Because when you don't know who you are, you become a weapon against yourself. Because there are other powers and other entities that know exactly who you are and what you are capable of. And so they'll use your energy source. You are walking, talking, breathing pure fucking magic. You are.
That is a good sister. I don't really say no or no her, but the words what she talk, she just talk like how your mom would talk, or someone as a elder would talk and guide you on your journey in it. So that we are doing. We're not talking. We're not saying follow us. We're not saying, oh, do this, do that. We are just saying come to the family circle group. You know what I mean, family? Because a lot of family know things out there and they will go out there and publish things, but they say if I follow them, I'm not a no following, because I'm not following no one. Only one I'm following is the spiritual side. The events, you know what I mean? The events can mean the mind, it can mean your belief or your thinking, you know what I mean? But it's just a spiritual thing of a nature. You know what I mean, family? Meaning your dream, your vision. You know what I mean? You come into this reality where they call name hurt. And if you come into this reality, you're supposed to go by your dream and your vision. Your mom don't know you, your dad don't know you, innit? Yeah, because they give you a name of a material name, innit? They don't give you a name of like saying, oh, you know, I get this dream, and the dream say your name is. No, they never get that in it. So in at the end of the day, we have to call these name what we have now a material name in it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just a material name because sometimes you name Leroy. What the hell is Leroy? Your name Kim. What the hell name is Kim? Who is the hell is Kim? Who is Kim? You know what I mean? Some of them name Troy. Who the hell is Troy? You know what I mean, family? Who is Troy? You know what I mean? Or them say Leroy. Who is Leroy? They name Marsha. Who the hell is Marsha? But we make up this thing in our head and next it come to reality. So when you hear someone named Marsha now, yeah, it's like you're gonna say, oh, that one is Marsha. But in the reality life, yeah, reality life is a spiritual side where you can't die in it. Because if you have a loved one and having a loved one, that loved one can't die in it, family. That loved one can't die on the spiritual side. But yet you can dream and see that person in it. So that means that directly you don't die in it. It just move from the vessel. So when you move from the vessel, that means you die. No, you're a soul, family. You see what I'm saying? So this is the reality segment now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, family, don't make them fool you or nothing like that. And next you come back again. And next you come back again. You know what I mean? Don't make them trick you, family. Alright, so now we are going to the reality segment. Wait. Let me see if it's this one.
You know, it's easy to feel because it seems like sometimes, you know, the world is like it's just objecting its will upon you. But the truth is you are also objecting your will upon the world. And it's a symbiotic thing always going on. And, you know, these situations that we go through, and I just want to make sure I share this, because I went through a pretty crappy situation a couple of times. But the things that are within our DNA for that greatness, you don't just come here good at something. Like you have to have situations, you have to have conditions, you have to go through stuff. It's like the oak tree, you know, you've got an entire forest in one acorn. An entire forest, right? How crazy is that? But this will never manifest itself if it's not in the right conditions, right? And so these negative things that tend to happen, or challenges, obstacles, these are simply there, in my belief, to just help us to unlock these latent capacities. Because a lot of times those talents, when somebody's like, you know, I don't know what my talent is, it's just dormant, it's latent.
Yes.
There's never been anything like you ever, and never will be anything like you ever after this. You know, it's like a very important moment in humanity, you know, you being here. Wake up and realize how powerful you are. Wake up and realize that you hold the pen in your hand and you are writing your story, but you keep trying to pass the pen off to somebody else, and you're really the star of this movie. And so many times, like, we try to play an extra, or we try to play a supporting actor, but it's us, and you need to wake up to your power and consciously, intentionally write your story, because it can be a really, really amazing story at the end of the day.
Then let's consider first of all, what is a mind in the grip of vicious circles? Well, one of the most obvious instances that we all know is the phenomenon of worry. The doctor tells you that you have to have an operation. And that has been set up so that automatically everybody worries about it. But since worrying takes away your appetite and your sleep, it's not good for you. But you can't stop worrying And therefore you get additionally worried that you are worrying. And then, furthermore, because that is quite absurd and you are mad at yourself because you do it, you are worried because you worry because you worry. That is a vicious circle. So now, can you allow your mind to be quiet? Isn't it difficult? Because the mind seems to be like a monkey, jumping up and down and jabbering all the time. Once you've learned to think, you can't stop. And an enormous number of people devote their lives to keeping their minds busy and feel extremely uncomfortable with silence. When you're alone, nobody's saying anything, there's nothing to do. There's this worry, this lack of distraction. I'm left alone with myself, and I want to get away from myself. I'm always wanting to get away from myself. That's why I go to the movies, that's why I read mystery stories, that's why I go after girls or anything that you do, or get drunk or whatever. I don't want to be with myself. I feel queer. So, well, why do you want to run away from yourself? What's so bad about it? Why do you want to forget this? Why do you want to become absorbed? Because you are addicted to thoughts. This is a drug, a real dangerous one. Compulsive thinking, going on and on and on and on and on all the time. It's a habit. So there's a difficulty about stopping that activity. And you really have to stop it if you want to be sane. Because if I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. Then I'll end up in the situation of having nothing to talk about but my own talking. Or so in exactly the same way, if I think all the time, I won't have anything to think about except thoughts. So in order to have something to think about, there are times when you simply must stop thinking. Well, how do you do that? The first rule is don't try to. Because if you do, you will be like someone trying to make rough water smooth with a flat iron. And all that will do will stir it up. So in the same way as a muddy, turbulent pool quiets itself when left alone, you have to know how to leave your mind alone. It will quiet itself. Stay pretending that you're just a little. And since you're all here and engaged in this sort of inquiry and listening to this sort of lecture, I assume that you're all on the process of waking up. Or else you're teasing yourselves with some kind of flirtation with waking up, which you're not serious about. But I assume maybe you are, not serious but sincere, that you are ready to wake up. So then, when you're in the way of waking up and finding out who you really are, what you do is what the whole universe is doing at the place you call here and now. You are something the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is something that the whole ocean is doing. The real you is not a puppet which life pushes around. The real deep down you is the whole universe. So then, when you die, you're not going to have to put up with everlasting non-existence, because that's not an experience. A lot of people are afraid that when they die, they're going to be locked up in a dark room forever. And sort of undergo that. But one of the most interesting things in the world, this is a yoga, this is a way of realization, Try and imagine what it will be like to go to sleep and never wake up. Think about that. Children think about it. It's one of the great wonders of life. What will it be like to go to sleep and never wake up? And if you think long enough about that, something will happen to you. You will find out, among other things, and when they come into being, that's you coming into being. You know that very well. Only you don't have to remember the past in the same way you don't have to think about how you work your thyroid gland or whatever else it is in your organism. You don't have to know how to shine the sun. You just do it. Like you breathe. Doesn't it really astonish you that you are this fantastically complex thing? And that you're doing all of this and you never had any education in how to do it?
Yes, family. So you see, you reach to the existent. You know what I mean? Where life really start, innit? Yeah, man. At the existent, me call these videos. You know what I mean? Out of the system, out of the box, and all of these things. So this is a thing now, yeah. You see the next video. This video I gonna be like out of the in of the box. You know what I mean? Because you're in a box now. Mean you're in a prison now, innit? Because you can't get to do what you want to do, like without money in it. You can't live without money in it. And you can't like get food depends where you're at without money. You see what I say, family? So this a in the box, but it'll take you to the millennium out of the box. You know what I mean? Like you have to start the show to get out of the box. If you understand what I mean. You know what I mean, family? Yeah. Yeah, you have to be you to get out of the box. Because you can't be someone else and think you can come out of the box. No. You have to be you to come out of the box. You understand what I'm saying, family? You can't be Jay-Z and feel say you come out of the box. Because Jay-Z in the box already. Beyonce in the box. Michael Jackson in the box. Every one of them is in the box. Whether Bob Marley is in the box, you know what I mean? No matter if them pass and gone, you know what I mean? They are in the box same way. You have to come out of the box. You see what I say, family? So this is just like this is like the sun, and I'm talking to each and everyone. You see what I say, family? I don't guess, my journey, because every day I wake up, I get a different knowledge from nature. I don't get different knowledge by reading book. I don't want to blight in myself and be someone else or have someone else's belief. Like these video what I play, yeah? It's not like I go out there and search for the videos, you know what I mean? The videos them just come up to me like that. You know what I mean? And next I say, alright, make I watch this one. And when I watch it, I say, alright, this one will kinda awaken family. You see what I say, family? Remember, I always put up my numbers them like out there, you know what I mean? So you can inbox me and you can get my number. You see what I say, family? Yeah. And when you get my number, it's not like, oh, we want you to say a load of things or a bag of things or you have to do anything. We just we just roll with the wave. We just roll with the wind. We just be free, family. You know what I mean? We just be free. You see like how I come on this? You think I'm afraid that YouTube block me or Facebook block me or any internet block me? Me go to the street. Because when I grow up, I wasn't like having internet and all of these things around me, innit? You see what I'm saying, family? They used to put up a lot of copyright. Today I see I play a whole heap of video. And Ungle copyright they put up is like when they what they call it? When I was playing the music segment. You see? I don't afraid of none of these people, family. They could have the biggest gun. Because if they do anything to me, family, they, dare you know hell would be hell. I dare know you know say family, it wouldn't be pretty. You know what I mean? I'm not a pretty soul, you know what I mean? Yeah, I maybe look pretty on the outside, but on the inside, family. You know what I mean? Cause if I say I'm representing the sun, you know what I mean, family? I'm not a pretty soul, innit? Yeah. You can't see my face, innit? So they don't know if I'm bad or evil or whatever, family. Yeah. But I show that say right now we reach the end of time, family. And full time we come together. And the last chance these family, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's the last chance we are on today. So family, help me to help each other. You know what I mean? Yeah. As you see how the world is running today, it come like we don't have no help out there. You see what I say, family? No help is out there. We turn to the government not helping us. We turn to a lot of friends, they turn their back on us. You know what I mean? Because they are lost. If the government lost, how they gonna help us? You know what I mean? The government don't know themselves, innit? The government them don't know themselves. The government see themselves as a politician, or they see they have to make this money. But money is lie. There's no king and there's no queen in the earth. If they have a king and a queen in the earth, why you are not one? You see what I say, family? No one is more than you. But if you look on yourself as like a everyday man or a everyday woman, and someone is above you, you're living in lieu. You're not living in the right time zone. Because no one is greater than you, same way, family. So you see, when family tell me, say I must follow them never backside. When I always see these celebrities out there when I was younger, I said, no, I'm not no one fans, innit? They are my fans, innit? Yeah, why the hell I should be someone fan? Why you should be someone fans? Family, you're not a damning fans. You know what I mean? You's not no fans. You know what I mean? No fans in this damning backside world. If they want fan, tell them to go plug in their fan at them yard. You know what I mean? No fan or no fans. You know what I mean? Family is not a follower. You are my leader and you are your leader. You know what I mean? That's why I say inbox me, get my number, and we help each other, family. I will follow behind you, you know what I mean? I know you wouldn't look at me as a follower. You know what I mean? Don't make the fame get to you. Because when someone say, oh yes, that looking nice and all of the, I don't take props, family. You know what I mean? I don't take props. And I don't take boosting. You know what I mean? The truth is the truth and you go at the truth. Because the truth is you. The truth is in you. But if it's in you, you have to go in the right circle. You see what I'm saying, family? You have to go into the right circle. Because if you're in the wrong circle, that's why I say family circle, innit? Yeah, man. Yeah, bless up the more fire. Yeah, turn up the fire, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Purify. You see all the bird in the fire and the bird not getting no burn, innit? It's not getting no burn, innit? See the animals them and they not getting no burn. Family, I don't come into the earth to underneath man foot. You never come into the earth to be under man foot. You not supposed to have no king or no queen above you. You understand, family? I'm not against them, innit? Because maybe if the world didn't have a king or a queen like today, maybe the world would be more corrupted, innit? Yeah. Alright, family. So now, may I play a next video. And this video is like, it's just a mad one. Family. But let me make sure I explain the video, yeah? It go show you the basic step, yeah? The basic step. You know, when you meet someone, and when you meet someone now, it's like someone will like show you something interested. They say, okay. Like if you read the biblical book, yeah, the Bible, yeah, and next someone will look on you and say, you know, say the Virgin Mary, he wasn't a virgin, and next you've been thinking, yeah, it gonna start off like that, yeah, where it just make you thinking, but it's like a game, but everything in reality, you have a truth behind it, innit? So this one is based on a game, but yet it based on reality. Because remember, It's like your name is not just like the name what your mom and dad give you. You have your spiritual name in it. But true, you don't get the dream and the vision, maybe you don't know it in it, family. Alright, so this one going to above the system, but in the system, but the beginning and the end of things, you know what I mean? Where you have to be awakened to get it, you know what I mean, family? Yeah, alright, watch it now. And I just get the next video from an ex family, you know what I mean? Alright, upright and upright.
Fantasy VII millions today as one of the greatest video games ever made. There is just no describing how potent this game is. No way to truly express the sheer impact it's had on the landscape of video games and culture. And how this game single-handedly transformed the art of storytelling and gaming forever. This video is intended to be an exploration of the hidden spirituality within Final Fantasy VII. But to make it accessible for people who might not have heard of it, allow me to provide an incredibly brief overview of the plot. Fair warning, this will basically spoil everything. The game begins as a humble story of an ex-soldier named Cloud Strife, whose disposition towards the world gets him a job as a mercenary running a bombing run of a large reactor within a giant city which is literally draining the planet's life force energy. The city is owned and operated by the Shinra Corporation, using the energy to fuel the city, make bank, and support the evil corporatocracy in generally ruling the world. Cloud doesn't really care about any of that stuff though, he just wants to get paid. Joining Cloud in his adventures at first are Barrett, the gun-armed leader of the rebel faction called Avalanche trying to destroy Shinra, Cloud's old friend Tifa, who just kicks ass, and Aerith, a mysterious yet beautiful flower girl who is later revealed to be the last living descendant of an ancient race of super spiritual humans called the Cetra. Over the course of the game, fighting the corporatocracy, it is revealed that there is a deeper, more significant evil in the world. It began a long time ago when a meteor crashed into the planet, which had a parasitic life form on it called Genova, which was responsible for wiping out the ancient Cetra. Later in time, Genova was captured by the corporatocracy and they did bio-experiments with it and created a half-human, half-Genova clone being named Sephiroth. Along the journey, we meet Red 13, a talking wolf with a Charmander tail who introduces us to his grandfather, a floating wise man who reveals to us that the entire planet, whose name is Gaia, is a giant living organism that shares its energy freely with the life forms on the planet. He explains that we're all intimately connected with each other, and that when we die, our soul energy returns to the planet and becomes one with the energy called the life stream, whereby after which we can return again in another body and live out more lifetimes as the great energy naturally flows through us to do so. Meanwhile, we also discover that Sephiroth over his life has come to awaken the Genova DNA within him and recognizes himself as Genova's child and fuels this evil Jesus complex within him. He sets out on a mission to use magic to summon another medium through the power of prayer and a deep, intimate connection with nature and the Holy Spirit. No joke. There are legends of the ancient Cetra homeland called the Promised Land, a place where the life stream energy flows like milk and honey, and this fuels the plot because the Shinra Corporation are looking for it so that they can extract more energy because their other wells are drying up. At one point, in what is perhaps one of the most legendary turning points in a video game ever, Aerith leaves the party and goes to the forgotten magical city of the ancient Cetra, where she is found in deep mystic prayer. Moments later, Sephiroth descends from above and kills her, creating a huge turning point for the game and the emotional well-being of the characters. Cloud too goes on a journey of self-discovery through this game, as he first discovers that he is not even himself, but
You
that
see,
his
in the
memories were a clone of another
1930s,
soldier named
it was
Sam,
an established...
black hair and a really big sword. But through the reconciliation of this inner paradox of who am I, it helps him to realize who he truly is and ultimately leads him to courageously confront Sephiroth at the end of the game. The game ends with the colossal meteor that Sephiroth has summoned coming to smash the planet, but thanks to Aerith's sacred prayer just before she died, she was able to summon the lifestream to awaken to the threat, the giant space rock from smashing into the planet. And of course, Cloud and his friends beat Sephiroth. After the credits, we see the world many, many years later and find that new life has taken over the old Shinra city and is now covered in moss and plant life. So, off the bat, let me just ask, Did you notice any hidden spirituality in this game? Literally every aspect of the story I could probably go deeper into. The Shinra Corporation personifies the current economic and business systems of the world, draining the planet of her life force through the extraction of her natural resources with reckless abandon. We see references to an ancient civilization that thrived in connection with the planet. Today in our world, we see scientists and historians are now beginning to acknowledge sites like Göbekli Tepe, and that there must have been some ancient civilization of some kind on this planet over 13,000 years ago. We even see a deep psychological reference to exploring our true nature with the spirit of the planet when Cloud falls into the life stream. But yet, with a game like FF7, the real hidden spirituality goes way deeper through its unique reflection of Kabbalistic wisdom. Just as a side note, if this next bit doesn't make total sense, go and check out our Spirit Science Tree of Life series afterwards, and then come back. It'll blow your mind 1,000 times more. The first clue we see to this is through the name of the main villain, Sephiroth. In the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, each sphere is called a Sephirot, the exact same spelling and everything. We see further connections to the Tree of Life with the characters Aerith, Barret, and Tifa, some of the initial characters we meet in the game. Aerith connects to Chesed, which stands for the archetypes of love, grace, and benevolence. Barret opposes her with Gevura, the force of power and purposeful destruction in order to refine the creative process. It makes sense because he's the one who organizes the bombing run on the reactors that are draining the life stream for profits. Then we have Tifa, whose name relates with Tiferet and stands for the harmony and goodness of the spirit of humanity. This is only scratching the surface though, because it seems nearly everyone has some sort of spiritual or religious reference. Even Hojo, the evil scientist who basically created evil Jesus, has a mutated form later called Helitic Hojo, a misromanization of Heretic Hojo, referring to heresy, a concept in many religions about going against the norm of their belief system. But on top of this, FF7 goes even deeper. You see, there is an idea that comes from ancient Gnosticism and Kabbalistic lore about the creation of the universe. Essentially, it's the idea that the Supreme Oneness created this first layer of creation, a dimension called Aeon, which had supreme knowing and understanding from the wisdom of the Godhead. Creation then extended further, creating more dimensional aeons, but which had less knowing and connection to the Supreme Source. Eventually, an aeon was created that was entirely disconnected from even knowing that there was anything higher, which the Gnostic called the Demiurge. It thought that it was the supreme all-powerful benevolence, and this Demiurge was what created the universe and inhabited it with all of life. However, the powers that it used were still from the Supreme Oneness, and so the seeds of benevolence and goodness were hidden within the created life on the planet. Now, Final Fantasy VII demonstrates this story in several ways. The first is that it describes how some people can choose a life of goodness and striving, and others walk a path of evil and corruption. It also shows that sometimes pain and conflict are thrust upon us, and we must transmute and transform the energy within us if we are to become who we are born to be. This is why Cloud's last name is Strife. It is through his strife that he both finds himself and saves the world. But the true hidden spirituality here is this. Regarding the story of the Demiurge, we actually see it told through Jehovah. The name here, Jehovah, is not at all dissimilar from the Jewish Jehovah, their name for God fused with the Greek Nova, meaning new, essentially giving Jehovah a name that means new God. Final Fantasy VII here uses this name as a commentary on the way that God was described in the Old Testament. It said that God is a jealous God with a number of other very humanly qualities. The game here presents the idea of the false God, the Demiurge, pretending to be the Supreme Oneness, which it cannot be. This goes further with the relationship to Sephiroth, giving us an idea of a sort of evil Jesus figure. He is, for all intents and purposes, the Son of God and the Word of God made manifest in a human body and performs, well, evil miracles. For example, where Jesus brought Lazarus back from the dead, Sephiroth killed Aerith so hard that no amount of Phoenix Downs could ever bring her back to life. I'm sorry, I need a sec. It's just so sad. By the way, Cloud, how is it you're standing here when this shot plays immediately after? I mean, where are your feet, bro? Anyways, here's a few other cool things. The game features the use of magic through crystals called materia, and materia is both Spanish and Latin for matter and material. There are 7 types of materia, which sort of correspond to the chakras but it's more likely that they were designed based on the 5 elements, and then the forces of good and evil beyond the elements. The red materia used for summons is notably interesting. Summons are spells cast in battle that allow you to draw upon some deity to come and assist you in some way. But what's amazing is that almost every single summon is based on a mythological god in history. And then there's the one for the giant chickens. I won't go through all of them, but here's a few key ones. There is Shiva and Rama, relating to the Hindu gods of the same name. We have Ifrit from Islamic mythology, Odin from the Norse mythology. We have Hades from Greek mythology, and Knights of the Round, who is by and far the most powerful summon and is literally King Arthur and his 12 knights coming to your rescue and kicking some ass. In addition to the main 5 materia that are usable by the player, there are also 2 more types, white and black materia. The black materia is the force of chaos for destroying anything and everything you want. In the game, it's used to summon meteor to smash into the planet. The white materia is called holy, a force of divine sacred benevolence, which can be used to cleanse the planet of threats. I guess I should mention there's also huge materia, which is kind of like giant chunks of unrefined crystal matter. Now, earlier in this video, I mentioned that there was this ancient pyramid. You might remember in the Spirit Science Human History movie, we talked about how there's this story about the true capstone of the Great Pyramid in Egypt being sealed away somewhere deep underground beneath the pyramid itself in a secret chamber, and that the little capstone is a perfect image of the Great Pyramid made of solid gold with little passageways and everything. This idea was encoded into FF7 because when you make it to the end of the labyrinth inside of the pyramid, you enter into the secret chamber and literally find a tiny version of the whole pyramid that you're standing inside. What's more amazing is that as your character goes to take it, the Great Pyramid around you begins to shake and tremble. If you remove it, you get the MacGuffin, but the pyramid will collapse upon you. Oh noes. Anyway, one of the most valuable aspects of the game is that it not only loads us up on hidden spiritual symbolism, but it grabs us emotionally too, which is why the game has weaved such tight emotional memories with nearly everyone who's ever played it. We see all of the characters get very existential throughout the game, dealing with death in their own ways, dealing with isolation, pain, loss, sadness, and struggle against their seemingly inevitable demise. And remember, all of these characters exist within us as we play. And so as you progress throughout the game, you are put in the driver's seat of experiencing those emotional states yourself. You become the characters, and the struggle is real within you, and you grow and evolve with them. Many people who began playing FF7 might have connected with Cloud, not really caring about the world or that the planet is dying, whatever, you know? But by the end, you see the bigger picture. You see the necessity for changing the world. And maybe, just maybe, you embody your own inner Team Avalanche, your own inner Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Aerith, or Red 13, and set out on a quest to save the world. But maybe just don't blow up anything. I'm certain we can find a better way to move humanity forward. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII will stand forever in the hearts and minds of millions around the world as a testament to gaming and storytelling. And for those who are able to see deeper into the fabric of the reality matrix, it stands as an encoded language of ancient mysticism that speaks to the human soul about the nature of life, love, and our connection to the world. The game asks us if we're willing to stand for what we believe in. Are we willing to go inside ourselves and do the inner work to discover who we really are? Are we willing to look deeper past the surface level of a story, any story, and find the hidden spirituality? Thank you again so much for watching. I'd like to give some mad props to the writers at FinalFantasyFandom.com, along with Peter from Kotaku, whose notes and articles provided some excellent support in making this episode. You'll find links in the comments to check out their writings, and of course, to everyone watching, enjoy the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yes, family, so upright and upright. And this is the last video I play for the rest of the evening, the rest of the evening, but you don't know fire burn long in it. The fire can't hold. It can't hold at all. So, you know what I mean? Alright, I'll just drop this one. So that's why I always give thanks for all Europeans same way. Where it's like, you know, we all learn from our mistake and we all learn from our parent past, you know what I mean? and learning from our parent past, we are the one have to correct it, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, man. So upright and upright, yeah? Alright, this one is about black family, yeah? Yeah, man, about black family. Yeah. So that's why I always have to give thanks for European and we've been on a far journey. And the greatest thing is when we can come together and teach each other. You know what I mean? You don't smarter than me, I don't smarter than you. We're on a journey and we see say the time zone what we are in is corrupted. From the top to the bottom to the middle is corrupted. Yeah? Alright, watch this one. It kinda deep, but it's just true, innit? But truth and all of these things. It's good family.
You see, in the 1930s, it was an established fact that the regal class of Negro nomads exiled from the kingdom of Judah, that they resided in Songhai, in Mali, in Ghana, in Kenem, in Bornu, in the empire, and within forests of the Dahomey south of Timbuktu. Communities complete with Aramaic Taurus rolls.
Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them. There's been books written about it from scholars in Nigeria, from scholars from the Jewish people. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. You know, so what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there. And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today, who are white, Caucasian people, came in a little bit later on.
I want to discuss a little bit of sensitive history. And if I go to sensitive history, well, then I must quote sources that say it rather than that I say it. This is a fascinating book, and the web pages are there, you can check it out. Facts are facts. This is a book that was written by a Jewish man. And he confronted the thinking of many of the high-placed individuals of the world. This is interesting stuff. In this book, Benjamin H. Friedman, a Jewish man, writes about the Jews and reveals an interesting history. He states that the present Jews in Palestine are not the true descendants of the Judeans, but rather descendants of the Khazars.
You see, Samson tore a lion apart as he would a young goat. And as a Nazarite, he wore 7 dreadlocks. He was mahogany in body color, just like Malcolm X. And his visage was blacker than coal. He was a Negro. Lamentations 4, 7, and 8. And this is really hard for people to see in Scripture, because predominantly it has been the Caucasians that have been in charge of the Scriptures, right? For millennia. Lamentations 5:10. Our skin was black like an oven. Job 30 verse 30. My skin is black upon me and my bones are burned with heat. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And Yahweh shall bring you into Mitzrayim, Egypt again, with ships. And the way of which I said to you, you shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold to your enemies for slaves and female slaves, and no man shall buy you. And that is what happened to the regal class of the house of Judah.
You see that the ancient Israelites are those people that were taken into slavery through Atlantic slave trade and scattered through all nations of the world.
Right. That for 400 years preachers have taught what they've been trained to teach and never teaching people who they are.
Look like
looking right in the book that's talking about us, but not knowing that it's talking about us.
Hi, shalom, shalom from Israel. This is Ola, the daughter of Jethro. And I just heard that you black people that was running from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are. But you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because us the Gentiles, we do need you.
And now you have people in Africa saying that they're the real people of Israel. It can't be ruled out at all. We know they were sold into slavery. We know now that they're fulfilling prophecy by saying we're coming back.
Who is it that's acting like they supposed to be God's people? Now because theologians have brought out the point that there's neither Greek nor Jew, you think it's not important to know who is the real Jews. Because they once we start talking about who the real people are, they'll start saying it don't matter. See, the whole point of this country is to be dismissive when it comes to truth.
Why? Ask the bloody question. Why are they only teaching you the history of slavery as far back as the 16th and the 17th century? Why are they only going that far back? They don't want you to go farther back than that, because then you'll actually find out the truth. But from the 16th and 17th century, we'll teach you about slavery. You've got to go further back, and you've got to understand and question, why do they do this throughout the whole of America, in all the public schools? Why do they only go back as far as the 16th and 17th century to talk about slavery? We've got to go further back.
So the genetic testing actually proves to the doubters what you and your forefathers have been saying for generations. That's what the exciting is. I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of the Lemma. I knew very little about it. But having spent time making the journey from Jerusalem down through Zimbabwe, having spent time here at this festival, seeing what your people are all about, I can only sum it up in one word, and it's shalom.
Shalom. You see, it's just like Al-Qaeda today. Or is it ISIS? Or is it ISIL? Or is it IS? I mean, right? Let's just change the name as much as possible to throw you all off so you really don't know what's going on. Let's keep switching the identity to hide the people. Why don't we just keep renaming you? Are you Negro? Oh, no, you're not Negro. No, you're colored. No, you're not colored. You're African American. And this is what they name you. The slavers name you this.
As we begin to dissect, because I want to do it in the Bible, so you know I'm not making up nothing, and I'm not no Black Panther, and I'm not no black activist either. I'm a Hebrew that found out that this book is my culture. Nobody wants to deal with this because, you know, let's just wrap Christianity up in a pretty bowl, and let's just go on to heaven. And no, we're going to get rid of these lies that's been told. That's why our people are messed up, because won't nobody tell them the truth. And most of what you heard preached is what has been sanctioned by the ADL. In other words, what they allowing preachers to preach, as long as they keep in line with the lie that these are God's chosen people. That's why you see people like John Hagee and Joel Osteen and all these people just stand with Israel, and stand with Israel, stand with Israel. Nobody's talking about that. How is these people who are supposed to be researchers not research that part? But do you know why they don't want to talk about that they not the real people? Because you're going to ask the question, if they not it, then who is?
Yes, family. So, like I say, that is a powerful video, not you? Yeah, man. So being that powerful and see what go on, it's like don't wait till you get whole and all of these things before you realize. You know what I mean? And this one now is about a veteran musician. Like, where is the veteran musician them? They are right out there. They are right out there. It's a family. You know what I say, man? We have to wake up, man. Wake up and shake up. You see what I say? Don't wait till it's too late to know your purpose in a earth. You know what I mean, family? This is your moment in earth where you have to put out your all, live in a positive and happy and successfully world. You know what I mean? Inbox me, get my number, and we pull together. You understand, family? Yeah, man.
It look like robbing a barrel. It don't look good. Musicians out there, artists, producers, players of the game. This is what we want. This is how we treat our own. This is how distressful we are. We are this hungry. We are this greedy. We can stretch our hands. Come on, Jamaica. Cut long story short, this is Jamaica, a music country where so many thousands of great artists came from. I saw a video circulating with Junior Biles,
Yes.
where you can see the struggle that he's going through. And it touches our heart to know that no one reaches out. Nobody, no one, not even one person from the music industry or from the wider society. This is our own.
Yes.
This is not somebody from overseas who fall and stumble in Jamaica then and him have no family or no friend or no associate. We all know Junior. We all enjoy his music. And you don't have to have $1 million to give away something.
Yes.
So I'm not saying we can stop his problems or his burden, but we can assist. We could do something. Most can do something. So this is why Bounty Foundation find it necessary to make a little token.
Yes.
Today we're gonna hand over a check for $150,000 and a gift certificate for 100,000. Today we have Christine, the daughter of Junior Biles.
Yes.
and a
Welcome,
great
Christine.
friend and family who traveled all the way from Africa. Jessica. This woman was touched and inspired by Junior music, just like me. So my brother Big Stone, I am the one who get in touch with
Claude Big
Junior
Stone, yes.
for us.
Welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome.
This is thus the platform we are setting to let Jamaica know this not look good, man. We look so gravelicious. We look so greedy. We look so hateful. Let's help ourselves. We always bawl about it not help it, but we not help we neither. Anybody can meet up on misfortune. You don't know or I don't know what tomorrow may bring Jamaica. Please, especially we as artists, we need to form some artist-to-artist union, and we cannot wait on the government. We have to pull our money together and get this on. Junior won't be the first, he won't be the last. Somebody will always fail, and we'll have to get up back, and it's not all of us get up back at the same time. Our catch back will balance when we get up. So misfortune is always going to be there. Just like driving a car, you have to pay insurance and, prepare for accident. But accident comes, so you have to be prepared in your mind. So Jamaica, these things will always happen, and it's a poor country. We know have a great economy we provide for each and everybody. If you have a proper job, and we use music as we escape, and then when we fall by the wayside as musicians, no one, not even we musicians, looks back. It look like robbing a barrel. It don't look good. Musicians out there, artists, producers, players of the game. This is what we want. This is how we treat our own. This is how distressful we are. We are this hungry. We are this greedy. We can stretch our hands. Come on, Jamaica. If you care, share. Because we always talk, we love my country, we love my people. Ray. And the Rastas out there, where I say, lead out of Babylon.
You know, I live in a Babylon. You know, need for sure the generosity, just like my sister here who traveled all the way from Africa. Talk to her, Winford. Let
Yes.
you tell you about our old connection with Junior.
Okay, could you tell us? Answer that for us.
The great legend Junior Biles has inspired the freedom fighters in South Africa. Robert Sobukwe, Stephen Bantu Biko, Solomon Mahlangu. I'm talking about the freedom fighters who were assassinated by the colonialists, the Pan-Africanists, the black consciousness, that I have inherited the spirit of Ubuntu, the spirit of humanity, that has led me to come to this island of Jamaica as the hub of the conscious music of reggae. And I came across my great legends like Bobani Wailer, Junior Biles, and to find him in this situation, Claude Sinclair said, we must do something. We came together as artists to celebrate him on his birthday last year, and we raised the funds. That was the call to say, let us come together as artists, as the people of the society, and bring interventions that can better our lives for our own selves without the big intervention of the propagandist government. But we as the people, we are the society that needs to bring rapidly the interventions that can make our lives much better. We are the source of humanity, and we are the human capital of our music system. My brother Bounty Killer, you have destroyed the boundaries. Thank you ever so much for coming through. I am saying, indeed, I am because you are. You are because I am. Keep on keeping on. Keep on digging deep that hive of prestigious knowledge, wisdom, and so that we can be able to expand. AmaXhosa, amaqobo namaqobokazana ngalendlela azibakunyembelekile. Thina nto zaziyasothuka nganto kuba kaloku madoda lento into yalonto. Sithi ke umntu ngumntu ngabantu. Wontu! Junior Biles! Uhlaba ikhwelo kwedini.
Claude, you're a friend of the family. You know a lot about this. His struggle, his story. From your perspective, sir, what can you tell us about his condition at the moment?
He suffered from enlarged prostate and, of course, some mental issues. And, you know, other little things, maybe depression, hypertension, and so on and so forth. But basically, those are the major problems that Junior have. But I must say, firstly, Paul Banky Giscombe reached out to me about a week ago after seeing one of my videos. And after he saw my videos looking for Junior Biles, he was so touched and moved because I'm moved by this great icon. This is the man that taught me everything in terms of how I grew up to be a man, and I'm 62 years old. I grew up on Beat Down Babylon. I grew up on a place called Africa. I grew up on Curly Locks, and of course I grew up on Fade Away. I personally must do my part, my little part, and my brother Bounty says, to make a difference. And so I must applaud Paul Banky Giscombe for reaching out to me and telling me that he saw the video and the Bounty Killer Foundation want to step up and do something.
Oh, great,
So
man.
thank you very much, Paul.
So what I want to know, if anybody has been reaching out to Junior, like people from the industry or anything, because that's what we cite, like no one cares.
Well, let me first say thank you so much for the opportunity to have this platform right now.
You're welcome.
I just wish my dad was able to really voice how he feels, truly how he feels. But I'm going
We understand
to
that.
speak as much as what my dad would want me to say.
Speak on his
There is a
behalf.
song that my dad sings that's always been my favorite. And I always say to my dad, you know, Dad, do you know my favorite song? And he says, what? And I say, Fade Away. And so I always say the song, the words of the song just resonates with my soul because that's who I am. It says, those who believe in vanity have no love for humanity shall fade away. The rich is getting richer every day. And the little that the poor man got, it shall be taken away. Do you hear what I say? Hey, hear what I say?
No, that touches all of us.
So
Everyone
I
in
say
this
this to the people in Jamaica. we love you. No matter what that video showed, the family loves you. You see, we represent love. Love will overcome all.
True.
We are forever grateful. The Honorable Babsy Grange stepped up last year for the concert where we raised $100,000.
Great.
We have taken majority of that money, bought whatever it is that he needed. You've seen videos of me taking him to certain medical centers.
Yeah.
I continue to work so closely with Claude. As you guys have seen the videos, the many videos that Claude Sinclair has put out, he has been the visionary. He's been at the forefront. Claude, you know how I feel. Thank you.
You don't have to get so emotional. We understand the situation. Well, this is a check of $150,000 on the behalf of Bounty Foundation to your father, Mr. Boyles. And also, here is a $100,000 gift certificate, Fontana Pharmacy. We get his medical care.
Right, Dad? It's just Dad. But what I want you guys to know is that this video or these videos that surfaced, these are not my dad's reality. And also, I thank you so much on behalf of the Biles family for allowing these videos to go viral, because what you have done is to set such a great precedence for us. Because one of the things that I'm working steadfast on is the Junior Biles Global Foundation. And you will hear more about that as it comes out. And that foundation is going to lend itself to mental illness. There's also going to be a website for my dad. You'll hear more about that as it's come out. There are 3 platforms that are out there, and I encourage all of you to go by, view it, leave your comments. There's the GoFundMe account, Reggae Superstar Junior Biles.
Reggae Superstar Junior Biles.
Now, there's also a Facebook page. There's been a lot of critiques on that page, wondering who's behind that. And I'm here to tell you that the Facebook page I've created for my dad, right now, it is at 5,000 fans, which is the maximum that it can go. The amount of incredible support that you guys have given to my dad, it's unbelievable. There is also an Instagram, just Junior Biles. There's a website that's coming that's going to be juniorbiles.com. But again, the ultimate goal is to get my dad well and also to restore his integrity. What we plan on doing is any proceeds we are going to give back to the community. Where my dad went to school, we're going to give back to children as well. But these things are all coming, and I'm just so forever grateful. Bounty, thank you so much.
We are so touched by your statement, yo. And we're just glad that you are there for your dad. You're a great daughter, yo. So intelligent and so inspirational. The concert that Tunu kept for him, we want to bring back that concert also, okay? Because that's a way we can reach a wider section of society. Junior Biles' birthday is February 2nd. He turned 72. Oh, his birthday was on the 2nd? Yes, Black History Month and Reggae Month. Whoa, the great reggae artist. 72 years old. Happy belated birthday, and this is a little token.
Thank you.
Dad,
You're
would you
welcome,
like to
brother.
say to your Facebook fans and Instagram fans, say thank you to them?
Love the Lord God, your Rastafari, with all your heart and soul.
Yeah. It's very touching to know that these legendary pioneers who helped groom the face of the music, we would have just leave him to go like this. Jamaica, we have to show some more generosity. We're the one love there. We all this African spirit. Where we there? Where we the apartheid massive there? We just make Babylon take away. So
Bounty Foundation is on the rise, and when my foot settle in a earth the right way, I will play my part properly. This is just my little baby step them, building up the foundation with foot. So just pray for we and pray for Jamaica, because we see an earthquake pass through and nothing reach you. So give thanks to the Almighty who always shed his blessing upon us. So I am because he are.
Okay then. All right. Thanks again, everyone. And that's
Yes, family. So love goes out to the trying one. Not like most family on Facebook where just a talk and try to build themselves, you know what I mean? But like what I say, we are for everyone, you know what I mean, family. And at the whole entire poor, rich, middle class we're bringing up, you know what I mean? So I do about almost 4 hours upon this, you know? Yeah, so we could have go like day and night on this still, you know what I mean, family? But like I say, remember inbox me, get my number, fire now cooler backside, fire burning through, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I love family. Yeah. And remember, it's like you're not supposed to be working under no one, and no one is more bigger than you and better than you. You know what I mean, family? And we are great, but the knowledge what we get out there is to weaken us and all of these things. Family discriminating you is like it's just to weaken your strength in your world. This is your world, innit? And someone you're gonna work for someone. I'm not working for YouTube, innit? I would never work for them, family. Yeah, so I come and say you can't be someone else and feel say you're gonna be free. You know what I mean? You can't live under someone teaching and feel say you're gonna be free. You know what I mean? You can't live underneath someone's shadow and think you're going to be free. Because when you reach your limit or your your level in life, you're not going to like see that. You know what I mean, family? So you can't work underneath someone because when you work underneath someone, whenever you reach your goal, you're gonna say, "Oh no, that is not for me," because yeah, I shouldn't get that. You know what I mean? But everything in the earth is supposed to get it, innit? Yeah, man. So like come here, say family. Yeah, yeah. So if you're living under someone's shadow, family, and living under someone's shadow, whenever you reach your goal, you're not going to know say it's your goal because you're living underneath someone. You know what I mean? So you have to live your life. You can't live Jay-Z life because when you reach Jay-Z goal, you're gonna think say, oh, that is your goal. But it's not your goal. You have to live your life. You know what I mean, family? That's why I say inbox me, get my number, and we help each other. I need help, you need help. Money is not my help, you know what I mean, family? I got money, you know what I mean? But that is not what I come into the earth for. You know what I mean, family? So you come into the earth for a good purpose, a good reason. So let's live for that reason, you know what I mean? And we learn along our way. Yeah? Alright. So upright and upright. Yeah, man. So I love family. I mean I drop in a spiritual bit, you know what I mean? Wait there. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Um, like me now, these always need things, yeah. Always need material things, yeah. All right. So you see when you're dealing with like spirituality, this is you spirituality, yeah. Watch. All right. So this is me out of the vessel now. That is the vessel standing there, and this is me spiritual. in the earth. Once you're in the earth, you're gonna have this like shape and form as the highest supreme being in the world, yeah? So, being the highest supreme in the world, you're supposed to protect the earth. You know what I mean? Yeah, so protecting the earth, that's why I come into the earth. But I represent like the sun. The sun is my vessel, my spiritual vessel. Yeah, family. So remember, you're in the earth for a purpose, and you are the like you have domination over every living thing. Yeah. So let us come together. Inbox me, get my number. We pull together. All right. Remember, when someone talking conscious and spirituality, this is how they look. Yeah. All right. So like what I'm saying now, maybe it's hard for you to get this medicine in your brain, you know what I mean? But it's like you same way. This is you same way. This don't come with no shape. It can turn into anything. This is the spiritual side. You see what I'm saying, family? Alright, so hear me. Inbox me, get my number, and we are on a journey, yeah? And I'm calling up and the family for help each other, you know? Alright. Like what I'm saying, inbox me, get my number, and every time you see me go live, this is the man you see on the screen. Not the physical being, but the voice within the body. You know what I mean? Alright, so remember, inbox me, get my number, and
He sees every weakness, every trial, every mountain and sea, and he sees every teardrop, and he wipes them for me. I get down on my knees, and I say, Savior, help me please. Because one thing is for certain, is my God answers prayer.
Yes, family, so upright and upright, you know what I mean? Burning like hot, you know what I mean? Yeah, this is a purified fire, you know what I mean, family? So everything have to be conscious and everything have to be clean what's coming through the screen, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, and I can turn it up to ever living fire. Like this are like the ever living fire, you know what I mean, family? So I come here and say we have to stay positive in a time like this, you know what I mean? Because the one who is thinking evil, their mind is being deleted. You know what I mean? Like the things and what they know is being deleted. You know what I mean? When I talk something, it come true. You know what I mean, family? So don't be on the wicked side, cause all of them mind is being deleted while I'm talking. You know what I mean? And word of power of like purify. You know what I mean, family? Yeah, man. I don't give thanks to mankind. I give thanks to life. You know what I mean, family? The life within you. You know what I mean? You have a life inside of you. I look up to life, not material things. I give thanks to life, not material. Anything with material, yeah, hell with that. You know what I mean? I'm here for you, just like how you are here for me. Maybe you're far from your reality, but you are here for me same way. You know what I mean? So upright and upright. Yeah, man. All right, love your family, and I just I will call it a night. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. All right, so whoop 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 whoop. Satan is a sly old fox. If we could catch him and put him in the box, lock that box and throw away the key for all those tricks he played on us. We make the money, they take the money. We buy the house, they take the land. Me say a different day, but it's the same thing. Whoop 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 whoop. Open the eyes, me say don't be blind. Me say open the mind, me say know how to think. Me say open the mouth, me say know what to say. Open the ears and know what to listen. Woo 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 woo. Me say open the door, me say open the door. Open the door for the rich and the poor. Open the door, me say open the door. Open the door for the young and the old. Open the door, me say, open the door. Open the door for the rich and the poor. The rich is in prison, the poor is in prison, the young is in prison, and the old is in prison. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, man, so upright and upright family. Burning hot, 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 hot. Yeah, man, so inbox me, get my number. My number is always over there, yeah? Yeah, so I'm out, yeah? Woo, 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 woo.